Good evening and welcome to another night of Evansville Otters baseball here on the Evansville Otters digital network and Evansville Otters YouTube channel. Jordan Fisher alongside me, Preston Leinenbach, as we are getting ready to go for the final game of the season between these two teams as the Evansville Otters are visiting the Southern Illinois Miners. Last night it was the Otters that got the victory by a score of 6-4, and Preston, it was a go-ahead inside the park home run of all base hits or types of hits to give the Otters the lead that they ultimately would not relinquish.
Yeah, that started out before the inning before with kind of like a weird fielder's choice error play by the Otters on defense that allowed Southern to kind of jump ahead. And then they responded in the seventh inning with Baez getting his second triple of the night, followed by an inside the park home run mad dash by Riley Crane, his 17th home run of the season. And it just seemed to turn everything around, obviously, in the final few frames, the momentum at least. And Evansville was able to finish it out, get an insurance run late in the game, and even the series, and honestly, break their little bad streak they've had in Southern Illinois the last couple trips. So now they have a chance to win the series tonight and hopefully propel their momentum forward as they continue their long road trip to Schaumburg over the weekend.
Well, Riley Crane now third in the league in home runs. I'm sure he's close to the top of the lead in inside the park home runs, as those are pretty rare. But to your point, this third game, very important for both of these sides. If Evansville wins this game tonight, they will hold the head-to-head tiebreak as far as that goes as we get closer to the playoff picture. But also, Southern Illinois, they're trying to keep pace as they now sit, once again, 3.5 back of first place Evansville.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for Southern Illinois is they do, I guess, have the more favorable schedule with playing Gateway twice. However, they do face Florence one more time in the remaining week as well. Nonetheless, for Evansville's perspective, you already own the tiebreaker head-to-head against Florence. It would be pretty nice to win the season series 10-8 against Southern Illinois, so that way the two closest competitors in the standings you own the tiebreaker against. So again, a lot on the line here, even though it's still a week away from the game, and it's not like a winner-take-all type of game. It is just an important game in terms of where things look, not only in the standings, but going forward in the playoff picture.
Well, and especially every single game when you get down to the end of the stretch gets more and more important. And if you were to ask Andy McCauley, the manager of Evansville Otters, he thinks all 96 are important.
They are.
And that's certainly true because you still need to win one game at the beginning just like you need one game at the end of the season. But I think the important thing is, too, though, even if Evansville does win this game and they have the tiebreak against Southern Illinois, they're still going to have work ahead of them with 4 games at Schaumburg and then 6 more games at home between, I believe it's Joliet and Windy City, correct?
Lake Erie.
Lake Erie, yep. So that's another part of it, too, is they could own the tiebreaker against Southern Illinois and Florence, and it might not mean anything if they don't finish down the stretch.
Yeah, and not to overlook every team, but next week the homestand with Joliet, Lake Erie both have losing records. You should be able to go out and take care of your business against those teams because obviously if you don't, that means you're not probably playing your best baseball at the right time and in terms of the big scheme of things. So again, Evansville wants to win the competitive series here tonight as well as this week against Schaumburg, who obviously are a competitive team right now, would be in the postseason with their division lead, but also next week you don't want to overlook and play down to the level of the losing record teams of Joliet and Lake Erie because again, you want to be playing good baseball and hopefully if you get in those games early, you score a lot of runs, you might have the chance then to kind of give some guys some off time, some breaks, and relax a little bit to kind of keep everybody fresh. But again, it's just every game is important the rest of the way.
Go ahead and take a look at some of the divisions. We'll start with the Evansville Otters in the West Division. Again, they lead at the West Division with the best record in the Frontier League, at 51-34. In second place, it's the Florence Y'alls, 49-35, as they sit a game and a half back of Evansville. The Miners of Southern Illinois, 48-38, again 3.5 back, and then Gateway in the cellar of the West Division, 35-50 for the Gateway Grizzlies. In the Northeast Division, Sussex County leads that, or no, they're tied, with Washington in that division. It looks like Washington has played 2 more games than Sussex County so far, but they have pretty well the same win percentage. And the New Jersey Jackals, they sit 13.5 back in the Northeast Division there. Schaumburg leads the Central Division by 7 games, so they are just about wrapped up with that division. Lake Erie sitting in second place in that one, 38-47, followed by Windy City at 38-48, Joliet 34-51 for the Central Division. And then finally, the Atlantic Division, Tri-City Valley Cats, they lead that one over Équipe Quebec, 44-41 on the season for Quebec. 1 game back there, and the New York Boulders are 7 games back in the Atlantic Division.
With that Northeast Division, even though obviously both of them are technically tied in terms of the games back column, being basically a decimal point difference, Sussex County would be the one who obviously would get into the postseason because of the win percentage.
They are 1/1000th point behind on the Washington Wild Things, just because they've played 2 more games. They're 1 game up in the win column, but 1 game back.
Because that would be the first tiebreaker, is the actual win percentage before the head-to-head record.
And that's important in the sense with Evansville and Florence, because Florence is likely to finish the game with finish the year, with 1 less game played than Evansville. And we talked about it. If Florence were to happen to be up there in the win column and have the same number of losses, then they're going to be like, well, why should we play this game? But Evansville, on the other hand, they would probably be pushing for them to play that game, although I don't know how much push they're really going to have there. We've got a good matchup on the mound tonight. Tim Holdgrave will be taking the mound for the Otters, an 8-3 record on the season, a 3.59 ERA. Currently sits at 3rd in the strikeout category for the Frontier League behind Ryan Fierabin. And then also New York's, I'm going to try to pronounce this right. It's Danny Warchansky, I think is how you pronounce it. He's pitching tonight too, so he's already got a few strikeouts to leap Holdgrave for tonight as their game got underway. As the New York Boulders are actually playing, let me pull it up here real quick, the Washington Wild Things. The game's early on, though, over there in Washington. Let's go ahead and step away for just a real quick timeout. We'll come back with starting lineups and first pitches. We're getting ready for the stream to start. Jordan Fisher and Preston Leinbach broadcasting remotely here as the Otters are in Marion, Illinois on the Otters Digital Network.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
We're just about ready for first pitch from Marion, Illinois at Rent One Park. Jordan Fisher alongside me, Preston Leinbach. Let's quickly run through the lineup for the Evansville Otters. Leading things off and playing third base, number 1, Gary Mattis. Josh Allen batting second and playing second. Jeffrey Baez in the 3-hole. He'll be playing center field tonight. Riley Crane batting cleanup over at first base. Jared Davis, the DH, batting 5th. Dakota Phillips behind the plate batting 6th. Elijah Mcnamee, the birthday boy, playing right field, batting 7th. Andrew Penner batting 8th and playing left. And then Andy DeJesus is the shortstop, batting 9th. On the hill for the Otters again, Tim Holdgrafer, 8-3 on the season with a 3.59 ERA. Stepping in the batter's box is Gary Mattis. He'll be facing Michael Austin, who has a 4-5 record, a 3.43 ERA, as the right-hander delivers home the first pitch to Mattis, as it's a pitch high in the zone. They appeal down to first on the check swing. Don't believe he went around, so it'll be 1-0 for Gary Mattis. Tonight's umpiring crew for this game, as Mattis now flies this one into left field. Moving back is the left fielder Brocado, as he has it for a quick first out.
That was a really good swing from Mattis. Pulled it to the right side as well.
So Danny Walker is calling balls and strikes. Tom Swoboda is the first base umpire, and then Preston Childers over at third base. In steps Josh Allen, the Otters' second baseman, as he will try to get things started for Evansville. Quickly setting the lineup defensively for the Miners. Brocado's in left, Jared Mang in center, Nolan Early in right. as Allen swings away first pitch as this one's hit into right center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall for extra bases for the Otters second baseman. He's looking for 3 as Allen chugs in, sliding in head first. He beats the throw. A 1-out triple for Josh Allen, and quickly the Otters have a runner in scoring position just 90 feet from home plate.
And right away coming out with an aggressive approach, swinging early, but also making hard contact. Even the maddest flyout was really hit well, just a few feet in front of the fence.
Can't even get through all my first inning stuff. Anyway, Walters third baseman, Gudino the shortstop, Fletcher the second baseman, Jamie Smart over at first, Arturo Nieto is catching Austin on the mound. In steps Jeffrey Baez, the reigning Frontier League Player of the Week, as he had 2 triples last night in a 4-hit effort. I was told he was on cycle watch at one point.
That was brought up last night as well.
I got a text
Especially
about
when
it
he
from
had
Corey
that
Clayton, actually.
Especially when he had the triple, I think, in his,
And
I
then
believe it was his first at-bat, the first triple of the night.
Zane said he could have easily stayed at second base, but he chugged in for that second triple. Quickly 2-0 to Baez as the 1-0 is low below the zone.
Hashtag cycle watch.
We'll see if he can get on cycle watch again tonight, as I think Zane, of all people, would be most excited to see somebody hit for the cycle for the Otters. 2-0 is bounced. It's now 3-0. We talked about that last time we were doing a game remotely from Jevin's apartment. And
watch it happen, considering that Zane's not here with us tonight.
That would be actually kind of incredible.
Because he's on assignment elsewhere.
He is on assignment elsewhere. Called me earlier about that assignment, too. But no, we talked about how the Otters have come close with cycles in the past, but it's always been 1 double or 1 triple away. It'll happen at some point. Baez 3-0 swinging away as he flies us into center field. Jared Mayne catches it. That should be plenty deep to score Josh Allen as he does tag up and score. Quickly, 1-0 in favor of the Evansville Otters. I don't know if you can ask for a much better start.
No, you can't. You really can't. I mean, just getting a run in, so you don't have to worry about, Mayne last night just not being a fluke and then a new scoreless streak in Southern Illinois starting.
I was going to say, because that's the first run they've scored with me on the broadcast at Southern Illinois. About time that happened. In steps Riley Crane. He hit the go-ahead inside the park home run last night as he watches the first pitch for ball 1.
Or if he has the PF Flyers on tonight, ready to sprint around the bases again if he hits one into the gap.
The 1-0 as he swings early, and this one's through the infield on the right side. Another base hit for the Evansville Otters as Riley Crane is on board, and that brings up J.R. Davis. I'm liking this aggressive approach from Evansville.
They know Michael Austin well, not only from his season this year in the minors uniform, but also previously with his stint with the Washington Wild Things. So he's a guy that they've seen before previous to this year. Notice he at times pounds the strike zone, but yet is very hittable. His ERA was a tick below 4 going into today's game.
Jared Davis watches the first pitch for a called strike. It's 0-1. And you want to know the most amazing thing? That's the first called strike he's had in this inning so far. And we're already 2 outs, and there's already been a run scored.
That's all because JR decided he didn't want to swing. What are you doing?
Austin comes set. A long pause. Now he delivers. 0-1 fouled off. It's now 0-2. The first batter was Gary Mattis. He watched ball 1 and then quickly flew out to left. Josh Allen swung at the first pitch, tripling into right center field. Baez worked the 3-0 count, then flew it out to center field for a sacrifice fly. And then Riley Crane swung at a 1-0 pitch and got a base hit. They have been aggressive here early going. Davis now grounds onto the left side. Gudino charging. He gloves it. Now throw on the run is in time, as that's 3 outs in the top half of the first. But the Otters do damage. They lead at 1-0 as we head to the bottom half. Tim Holgrafer will be on the mound for the Otters when we come back on the Evansville Otters Digital Network.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. before the tables were set with care, before you penned a single invitation, before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
We're heading to the bottom half of the first inning. Evansville leading it 1-0 as Josh Allen tripled and then was driven in by Jeffrey Baez on a sacrifice fly. So that gives Tim Holdgrafer one run of cushion before he even throws his first actual pitch. And we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the Southern Illinois Miners lineup. Bryant Fletcher will be leading things off as he is the second baseman, Nolan early in the 2-spot playing right. Ariel Sandoval, the DH, batting third. Jamie Smart over at first base, batting cleanup. Jared Mang, the center fielder, bats fifth. Ian Walters plays third and bats sixth. Anthony Brocado, the left fielder, will bat seventh. Arturo Nieto behind the plate, batting eighth. And then Yeltsin Godinho rounds out the Miners lineup as he will be the shortstop. Again, Tim Holdgrafer, 8-3 on the season, a 3.59 ERA for Holdgrafer. He's coming in with 95 strikeouts and 85 1/3 innings. He's only walked 17 batters in those 85 1/3 innings, making start number 15 on the season for Evansville.
It's Timmy!
I like that. I like that that reference. You've had a couple good references already. PF Flyers was a pretty good one.
Big
I like
time
that.
Timmy Jim, right? That's
Yeah.
what that was in the Sports Center commercial with Tim Lincecum way back in the day.
Yeah,
It was me trying to figure out his nickname.
Yeah. First pitch from Holdgrafer misses outside for ball one. So the Otters got one run in the top of the first. We'll see if Holdgrafer can have a shutdown inning in his very first inning of work tonight. As he winds and fires the 1-0. It's a grounder to the left side, fielded by DeJesus. Throw over to first base in plenty of time for out number one. That'll allow us to set the defense for the Otters in the field. Pinner in left, Baez in center, birthday boy Mcnamee in right field, Mattis, DeJesus, Allen, and Crane around the horn. Phillips behind the plate as he is tonight's pitcher-catcher battery of Tim Holdgrafer, who is on the mound. Brought to you by the Answer Auto Prayer East.
For all your battery needs. 2319 North Green
I was
River
going to
Road.
say, I knew it was North Green River Road. I couldn't remember the actual addresses. First pitch to Nolan early is a called strike, 0-1. Last game in Marion, Illinois for the Otters for this regular season is the 0-1. Grinds to the right, but foul. As will be 0-2. After tonight, they will head to Schaumburg for a 4-game set. The rare holiday game on Monday for Labor Day. And then they'll come home for a 6-game homestand. So quickly getting close to single digits games remaining on the regular season docket.
Yeah, I'll give Schaumburg a call later tonight and just let him know that the boys from Evansville are coming.
The 0-2 outside, ball one. Especially need to let Tim know that. Tim Calderwood.
Probably the hotel too, right?
Yeah, probably the hotel more so than Tim. Tim probably wouldn't care. He'd be like, all right, that's fine. The 1-2. Swung on and fouled as he'll stay alive. Nolan early on the season batting .314. 10 homers, 56 ribbies.
Is the dude back there wearing a Sting mask?
Where at?
It was on the first base side, so they have to switch cameras.
Have to see it again as this one's fouled to the third base side, unfortunately.
They turn September and we're already pulling out like Halloween masks.
Hey, man. When
Right there.
you know, I think he is.
Yeah, he just took it off.
He took it off. He heard us. He must be listening to our broadcast. The wind and delivery for the 1-2. Just outside as it's now 2-2. That's a good observation from you.
I love people watching.
It's a fun thing to do, especially in a ballpark like this where you're going to have the camera changing and people aren't expecting the camera to be on them. Holdgrafer looking in for his sign as now he winds and fires the 2-2. This one low, ball 3. A good at bat here from Nolan Early as he works the count full. Pitch number 8 coming up in this at bat.
It's kind of like why we like sitting in the press box.
Just to be able to people watch, exactly. They just
we get
don't
the high
know that.
perch.
The payoff popped up and out of play, so we'll do it again. Yeah, you got the perch up here, and you kind of just peer down and watch people. It's a lot of fun. I wonder where the best people watching spot would be in the ballpark, though. 3-2, swung on a miss as Holdgraver gets his first strikeout of the evening. Out number 2 of the inning, and that brings up Ariel Sandoval, the designated hitter.
I mean, I guess theoretically you would say the party deck. But however, once you get out there to a certain point and it gets like nighttime, everybody else in the grandstand kind of just looks like little specks.
Mm-hmm. I think a good spot would be a little bit kind of where our home plate cameras when we're set up, right there above the main tunnel. Because then you can kind of just watch from both directions as they funnel down that main tunnel. Although the press box does give us a little bit of a higher vantage point.
Yeah.
I just feel like we're kind of a little bit
It just gets
cut out of the blind sides for them.
Yeah, and it gets pretty dark
This is true.
now with the new setup here at the ballpark as the evening goes on.
First pitch to Sandoval is fouled back. It's quickly 0-1. Sandoval batting .336 on the year. Just 2 home runs and 4 doubles. As Holdgrafer has his sign, the 0-1. And that's lined into right field as that will be fielded by Mcnamee. He'll quickly get it back in the infield. A 2-out single for Ariel Sandoval. There goes the no-no. And that brings up Jamie Smart.
And for Holdgrafer, looking to kind of bounce back after a rocky start last time out, as he pitched last Saturday.
Still got the win in that.
He did, but
It was
wasn't
definitely not one of his better outings.
No.
7 hits, 5 runs in just 5 innings.
or last Friday rather, excuse me.
It was last weekend. I'll give you the credit
Yeah.
for that. First pitch to Smart. It's a little bit low, ball 1. Last time he faced Southern Illinois, he got a no decision. That was back on August 10th at Evansville. 6 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts to 1 walk in that outing for the
And that's a
Otters.
game where he probably should have gotten a win.
Only gave up the 1 run. That's how baseball works sometimes. The 1-0 runner going as Phillips throws down to second base. It's a little bit up the first base side. In there safely is Sandoval. A stolen base for Ariel Sandoval as he advances to second base and now in scoring position with a 1-1 count to Jamie Smart.
And DeJesus almost had the reaction like he thought he got him on the foot.
He might have got him on the foot, but the hand certainly probably would have beat the bag then at that
Yeah.
point. So Jamie Smart steps back in with a 1-1 count and a runner at second base. That being Ariel Sandoval. And the delivery. Swung on and missed as it's quickly 1-2.
Going golfing.
That was a good bender.
As Bill McCune likes to say, the left-handers love to go golfing on that pitch low and inside.
To be fair, it's a tough pitch to lay off of if you're a lefty facing a right-handed pitcher. That ball looks like it's center cut for you, and then it just falls off the table. Holdgrafer with a quick peek at second base. Now he delivers the 1-2. Went for the same pitch, and Smart did not bite. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with a runner at second base. For Jamie Smart on deck is Jared Mang, the minor center fielder.
And as speaking of Bill McCune, as I was telling you before we hopped on, Mr. McCune is starting his campaign to get Riley Crane the Most Valuable Player Award in the Frontier League.
Riley Crane for
Given
MVP.
his pitch on why he should win it, and for the most part, I agree with him. I think there's a few other guys that are in the running, but I tell you what, a 280-plus average for most of the season. The home run numbers are there. The RBIs are there. His defense is there.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly got a case, and if Evansville finishes with the best record in the Frontier League, there's another thing to add on to it. If you're one of the most productive bats in the best team's lineup, that's a big reason. 3-2, ball 4 to Jamie Smart, so he'll take first base. And all of a sudden, the Miners have 2 on and 2 out, and that brings up Jared Mang. But to your point and Bill's point, I mean, if you finish top 3 in the league in home runs or even end up leading the league in home runs, and you lead the league in RBI at the end of the year, and you are hitting in that 280, 290 range, that's productive enough for me with the defense along with the record.
And not just with the home runs, but he has the double numbers.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen him go for extra bases for triple.
First pitch to Jared Mang, swung on and grounded to the left side, fielded by Mattis. He'll just tag Sandoval, and that gets the Otters out of the inning. So a little bit of danger there with 2 outs from the Miners, but Holden Grafer works through it. It'll be 6, 7, 8 due up for the Otters when we come back. Evansville leads it 1-0 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
We head to the top of the second inning. Evansville leads it 1-0 on the Otters Digital Network. Phillips, Mcnamee, and Pinner due up. If any of those reach to Jesus, will get a chance at the plate. Jordan Fisher alongside me, Preston Leinenbach, as we are working remotely in Evansville at Bossy Field. Otters in Marion for the third of 3 games against the Southern Illinois Miners. A very pivotal game for the tiebreak, especially for the head-to-head, but Evansville trying to keep their distance ahead of the Miners in the West Division standings while the Miners are trying to make up that ground. The first pitch to Phillips swung on and fouled back. It's 0-1.
And for those listening, we'll give you the heads up on next week's homestand to be prepared to maybe make a detour to the ballpark up Main Street, as there's a little road construction going on Heidelbach. Just started in the last couple days.
That's no good because that's the way I normally go. I'm going to have to go a different way.
I've been bringing out the large cranes and cones, orange cones. Orange is Evansville's favorite color.
Because of all the construction.
Yep, cones and the barrels, and barrels and barrels.
1-1 low to Phillips now. It's 2-1. As Michael Austin had a little bit of trouble in the first inning. Gave up a 1-out triple to Josh Allen. He was quickly driven in on the next batter, Jeffrey Bias. As the 2-1 is fouled, it's now 2-2.
Now, for those who follow the Frontier League closely, past just following the Otters, may recall that when Austin was dealt from Washington to Southern Illinois, in his first appearance with the Miners back in the early part of the season, he threw a 7-inning no-hitter.
2-2, a check swing. As they say, he went around. Strike 3 for Dakota Phillips. First strikeout of the night for Michael Austin. That brings up Elijah Mcnamee, who is, of course, celebrating a birthday today. Alluded to it a little bit a couple times.
Yeah. Yep.
I think Preston's going to try to do some math here real quick and figure out.
It's 25.
Okay.
Yep, 1996.
So 25 years old for Big Hit Mac.
I got a year on him.
I got 3.
Got another September birthday coming up too. Let's see, on the 21st, Polo Portella. Hopefully we'll be in the championship run during that one.
He could be celebrating his birthday during the championship round, yeah. 0-1 to Mcnamee as he flies it into right field. Moving back is early towards the foul territory area. As it looks like he ran out of room, and it will fall for a foul ball, so 0-2.
Yep.
Tell you what, that would be quite the birthday present if you're Polo Portela, if you could win a championship and
that'd be pretty cool.
Celebrate your birthday at the same time.
Be pretty cool.
So Mcnamee will walk his way back to home plate as he was over by second base by the time that ball landed, and we were watching that baseball kind of just bounce down the seats and onto the concrete out there in right field foul territory. And now we're ready to resume this at bat. 0-2.
Sure, home plate camera needs to extend out to the outfield wall, get his focus set out there, and then zoom back. There was some focus issues.
See if they get that in order. The 1-2 fouled off.
That's a little trick for camera operators. If you extend all as far as the zoom will go, set your focus there, then everything in between should stay in focus.
There you go. Tips from Preston Leinenbach when it comes to camera work. The 1-2 fouled once again.
Depending on how the settings internally are set for your camera, you may have to go into the menu option and finagle a little bit, but
maybe you guys could do an Otters TV episode on that at some point during the off season.
That'd be too nerdy.
1-2 looking as that one caught the inside part of the plate. Back-to-back strikeouts for Austin, and quickly 2 away in the inning.
You just want people to watch, not bored.
Not be bored. You and I find it a little bit more interesting than probably the common Evansville Otters viewer on the YouTube channel. In digs Andrew Penner, the Otters left fielder, number 8 hitter. He'll try to get something started with 2 outs and see if he can extend the inning to Andy DeJesus.
Yeah, my YouTube watch list includes tutorials on cameras, Photoshop tutorials, motion graphic tutorials.
0-1 comes up and in and hits Penner.
All that graphic design and
there's nothing wrong with that. Mine consists of
some golf tip tutorial videos as well.
I don't even waste my time with those. I'm so bad at golf, it doesn't matter.
I'm trying.
It's one of those sports I really want to get good at, but it's just so hard to get good at.
It's hard, but for me, it's like.
But you need to be good at it because that could be a good selling point if you got somebody trying to do something with Evansville, with the Otters.
I'm one of those, once I start, I have to be good at it. I just have to push myself to do it. Thing is, it is tough to play consistently enough to stay good at it.
I'm the exact same way, and I think that's exactly why I have not really got into it, because I know that it would take a long time, and I don't have the patience for that. So in digs Andy DeJesus, he's got to run at first base, and Andrew Penner, after he was hit on the elbow by a pitch. Swinging and missing at the first pitch is DeJesus. He's down 0-1. Games going on elsewhere in the Frontier League. It looks like a doubleheader between Tri-City and New Jersey, as Tri-City won Game 1. They are currently in Game 2, just about to wrap that one up.
Yeah, they had a doubleheader the other night, I think. Although up that way, they're dealing with the weather the last week or so.
This is true. 0-1 flown down the left field line.
Sure,
it's now 0-2.
Made their schedule and the Frontier League give them a headache more ways than one here down the stretch.
Well, Zane, we were talking about, was so excited for that game for Rutgers tonight. That is not going to happen because of flooding up there in that New York area. Other games going on. Gateway is playing Schaumburg. They keep Quebec playing Sussex County as a quick check on Penner, but he's back in time. Lake Erie is at Joliet. Florence is at Windy City. New York Boulder is at the Washington Wild Things. And then, of course, Evansville is at Southern Illinois. We'll get you some scores as they actually start to get interesting later on.
I was going to say, just early on between the Yaws and Thunderbolts, Florence and them are still scoreless. Only bottom of the second from Ozinga Field.
The 0-2 lined into left center field. That's going to get down in the gap as Mang fields it, and he gets it in. Penner's going first to third as he slides in safely. See if DeJesus stayed at first or he's at second base. He is at second base with a double.
Double-decker, Deerhead, double-decker, double.
And so now, with Gary Mattis up to bat, there's quickly 2 runners in scoring position for Evansville with 2 outs.
2 outs, turning the lineup over. And that's the thing, that 7th inning last night with the triple and the inside the park home run with 2 outs.
Oh, And see, it always feels like the 2-out rallies are what gets you. And especially whenever you have a situation that Evansville just had. You allowed a man to reach base, get to the 9-hitter. He turned it over to the top of the order. And now a chance for a potentially big inning to unfold if Mattis can get a hold of one.
Mattis. The Mad Dog, as Ryan coined him before he left us to go back to school.
First pitch, a breaking ball for a called strike, 0-1.
Also wears my favorite accessory gloves, the neon lime green gloves in the back pocket. Just for show.
You certainly see them, that's for sure.
He doesn't use them, they're just there.
They're just there. Doesn't match anything else in the uniform. The 0-1, as he watches this one bounce. It's now 1-1. Mattis looking to extend his on-base streak. Be a good time to get on base right now.
Yeah, let's see if we can push it to 19 games. Like I said last night, it's getting high enough now where you kind of start to notice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. You start getting up there in the upper teens.
Now the hit streaks, we'll hold off on talking about those for a few days.
1-1, fouled off to the right. It's now 1-2.
It's kind of been hit or miss lately for some of the Otters.
Getting on base is still just as important as it is getting a hit for the most part. And you get a single and a walk, they're the same spot basically.
Get the hit, you can get the walk, get hit by pitch. Unfortunately, an error does not count towards your OBP.
It does not. 2 on, 2 out. It's a 1-2 count to Gary Mattis as this one's bouncing, goes back to the backstop as Andrew Penner will score, and moving up from second to third is DeJesus on the wild pitch.
And I was wondering if another out-of-control pitch was coming, because there's one a couple pitches ago from Austin where Nieto didn't even really, he blocked it, but it wasn't like a normal catcher block. He literally dove off toward his, laying down on his side.
Yeah.
Nice little goalie save, I would say.
So no RBI there for Mattis, obviously, because he didn't put the ball in play, but it's a 2-0 lead now for Evansville. As he fouls this one off, it's still going to stay 2-2.
Is that a wrestling ring back there?
It might be.
I'm not going to lie, that's kind of awesome.
Rent One Park is a very good ballpark. It's a very nice ballpark. It has a lot of little features and things to it. The miniature golf course.
So we do play with the wrestling ring. And he's off the top rope!
No kidding. That would be a lot of fun. The 2-2. Flown into right field early, giving chase as he's back to the track on the run. It's going to be down in the corner for a base hit, as this will score to DeJesus, and Mattis will have extra bases. A 2-out double for Gary Mattis, as that extends the lead to 3-0.
That extends that on-base streak we were just talking about.
He doubled last night. He doubles again here.
He had some good swings in that at-bat. Really just, as he always does, but in particular that at-bat, his hands were so quick through the zone. Took a couple of rips on those foul balls. Finally able to get one in between the lines, down in the corner. I thought early at first had a beat on it, and it just seemed like it just kept slicing away from him.
Coming off that right-handed bat, hitting the opposite field, I'm sure it just continued to slice. As now in steps Josh Allen with a runner at second base and 2 out. And don't forget to keep an eye on Mattis over there, Michael Austin.
Yeah, he likes to take third.
He's stolen third a few times this year, and he'll do it with 2 outs. I've seen it happen multiple times. There was one game he stole third twice with 2 outs in the same game. It's a 1-0 count. Gary Mattis at second base. As he thought about it, now he grounds up the middle as Josh Allen. As fielded by Gudinho and over to first base in time, but the Otters do damage. They score 2 more in the top of the second. We head to the bottom half of the second. It's 3-0 in favor of the Otters on the Otters Digital Network.
Welcome to a place that feels like home. A place that cares about all of you. Built to help you grow in more ways than you could possibly imagine. To make new friends, travel new paths, soar to new heights, and deepen your spiritual experience. Welcome to Oakland City University.
Centerpoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
It's 3-0 in favor of the Evansville Otters. We head to the bottom half of the second inning as Tim Holdgrafer back out on the mound, getting ready to go for a second inning of work. Walters, Brocado, and Nieto due up for Southern Illinois. And Preston, we in the middle of the top half of the inning, you mentioned, is that a wrestling ring? Sure enough, it is a wrestling ring. They just had a promo in between innings for that. Thought that was a pretty cool little addition.
Yeah, there are two mascots. The one that's an actual miner, and the other one that's just some random canary-looking bird. We're going at it, and then all of a sudden, blindsided by some random wrestler jumping into the ring. The two mascots ran away scared.
Yeah, they were not about it. 1-1 count now as the 0-1 misses. Ian Walters, the left-handed hitting third baseman, leading things off for Southern Illinois. The Miners wearing their black tops and white pants. Otters in the all-gray uniforms.
And they had the chip belt hanging from the air.
Yeah,
no ladders or chairs were involved.
Nobody went to go grab it either. The 1-1 flown into center field. Baez moves to his left. Now Mcnamee will actually call him off and catch that in the gap. And quickly one away for Tim Holdgrafer. Also, that home plate camera is still not focused. How much does that bother you when you're watching a broadcast like this? Is it?
It does when I know that it's not an issue with the camera or the net. It's an operator issue.
It's an operator issue, yeah.
Whereas I know with our cameras sometimes they're older. I mean, they're well out of date, but we try to make the most of our resources here at the ballpark. That sometimes they get stuck focusing on the netting, which the strands of our backstop netting here at Bosfield are really thick compared to the old one.
They are.
So it kind of locks in on that sometimes as the object instead of like the player on the field.
0-1 to Brocado as Brocado's swinging at air.
Of course, you know, if it's set to auto focus instead of the manual focus, that's another thing. But as you pointed out, and you're correct in this, that we've noticed throughout the season, for our cameras, they sometimes lock in better and focus with the blue jerseys compared to the white ones.
Yeah, the 0-2 misses, it's 1 and 2. And I have no idea why that is. I don't know if it's because of like when the sun's out, if it's like the reflection of the white jerseys causes it to be difficult. But I've also noticed it with away teams. If they're wearing gray uniforms, specifically with the pitcher's mound, they'll have a hard time picking up the pitchers in gray uniforms. 1 and 2, a called third strike at the knees as Brocado goes down looking. Strikeout number 2 of the night for Tim Holdgrafer, and now it's 2 away in this second inning.
Yeah, another good pitch there, and really just using the combinations well for Holdgrafer so far. And I like the strikeout call by the umpire. It's very quiet, but yet it's a clear punch out.
And the best part was that pitch was painted right at the knees, a little bit on the inside part of the plate. Just a very tough pitch to hit anyway for Brocado. And now in steps the Miners catcher, Arturo Nieto, as he'll try to get something started with 2 outs, as the first pitch to him is a called strike. The Otters quickly got 2 outs, and then it was a hit by pitch to Pinner, followed by a double for DeJesus, followed by a double for Mattis after a wild pitch. That's how Evansville scored 2 runs in the top half of the inning. So Holdgrafer probably looking to get this third out here very quickly without allowing anybody to reach base.
Just dotting the fastballs here, the first 2 pitches of this at-bat.
Now, we don't have a radar gun on the scoreboard for the Miners broadcast, but I'm curious as to what he's hitting, because that fastball, as he paints another one, 3 up, 3 down in the inning, back-to-back strikeouts for Tim Holdgrafer as he is dealing here in the early going. We head to the top half of the third inning. Baez, Crane, Davis due up for the Otters. When we come back, the Otters lead it 3-0 on the Otters Digital Network.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged due to reckless digging. So Indiana relies on these 811 superheroes. Derek the Builder.
I dig for a living, but I always contact 811.
Mary the gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the contractor.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Prevent damage or injury. Call 811 anytime or go online 811now.com. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and this station.
Come be a part of a nationally recognized program in criminal justice. The Criminal Justice Program at Oakland City University provides students with in-depth knowledge in the fields of law enforcement, forensics, corrections, and juvenile justice. Learn through hands-on experiences and train in areas of investigative forensics, criminology, and police administration. A career-focused major is in your reach and all in a Christian university setting that feels like home. Oakland City University.
Top of the third in Marion, Illinois at Rent One Park. Jeffrey Baez will lead things off for the Otters as they lead it 3-0 on the Otters digital network. Jordan Fisher alongside me, Preston Leinenbach. We're missing Zane Clodfelter and Jevin Redmond tonight as they're both on assignment elsewhere. Of course, they were both on the broadcast last night as I was on assignment elsewhere. First pitch to Baez up and in for ball one. He had a sacrifice fly in his first at-bat that scored the first run of this ball game when it drove in Josh Allen from third base. The 1-0, a called strike. It's now 1-1. Austin has his sign the delivery as this breaking ball is low. 2-1 to Jeffrey Baez. Otters and Marion for their final game of the regular season against the Miners. A chance to clinch the season series head-to-head between Evansville and Southern Illinois, as it's now 3-1. The fastball misses inside. Would be a big step in the Otters' potential playoff push. 3-1, a little chopper back to the pitcher, Austin. He fields and throws it over in plenty of time for out number one. Kind of went through that scenario already earlier, but if Evansville wins this game, they would own the tie break for head-to-head over Florence and Southern Illinois, which you'll take every single tie break advantage you possibly can when only one team is going to make the playoffs in your division. In steps Riley Crane, Bill McCune's pick for Frontier League MVP. Certainly has a case with the Otters boasting the best record in the Frontier League, and he's been one of their best bats throughout the entire season.
Trying to get everybody on board on the Crane train.
You know, board the Crane train. I like it. Bill McCune leading that hype train. 0-1, swung on a miss. It's 0-2. Riley singled in his first at-bat. It was a line drive through the right side of the infield. They'll look to try to put a charge into another one here, the 0-2. Way outside, it's now 1-2. Crane homered last night, but in not typical Riley Crane fashion. As he swings at a big breaking ball.
That's tough.
Strike three.
Big looper, and you have to sit there and wait forever, it feels like, when you're in the batter's box for that pitch to get there. Because let's face it, where it finishes is a good hitting spot, especially if you want to barrel it up to the other direction. But when it's just kind of spinning in the air and you're sitting there waiting and waiting, it's just so hard to be patient enough to sit back long enough to put a good swing on it and time it up correctly.
So in steps J.R. Davis with 2 outs. As he swings to the first pitch, it looks like a changeup low and away. It's 0-1. Otters did all their damage with 2 outs in the top half of the second. It was a hit by pitch against Andrew Pinner that allowed him to reach base. Andy Jesus then doubled. And they both advanced to base as the 0-1 is in the dirt, 1-1, or in the turf, I should say. I'm going to catch myself with that one time. I did not have to correct myself. But Penner scored on a wild pitch, ended Jesus, advanced to third, and then he was driven in by Gary Mattis's RBI double. All that coming with 2 ounces. The reason why they scored 2 more runs to make it 3-0. The 1-1 a called strike. It's now 1-2. Feels good to be on the other end of this broadcast when the Evansville Otters are actually scoring runs in Marion. I didn't get to enjoy it last night, but so far in the early going, well, Evansville scored more runs than they did any other game in Marion that I've been on. 3-0, swung on a miss at the big breaker. Back-to-back strikeouts on back-to-back great curves. And the Otters go quietly in the top half of the third. We head to the bottom half of the third. 9-1-2 due up for Southern Illinois. Otters lead it 3-0 on the Otters Digital Network.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
Bottom of the third in Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois. Tim Holgrafer back on the mound for Evansville as he now has a 3-0 lead to work with as the first pitch to Yeltsin Godinho is flown to right field. 1 pitch, 1 out for Holdgrafer.
That's a Zane Clodfelter type of at-bat right there.
That really is a Zane Clodfelter type of at-bat. That takes us back to the top of the order as Bryant Fletcher is now walking up to the batter's box. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to shortstop to Jesus in his first at-bat. Also, Tim Holdgrafer currently sits at 98 strikeouts on the year, tied for second in the Frontier League, as the pitcher he's vying for that position with currently at second is also on the mound tonight.
I know you just refreshed my memory on the name of the single season with 138.
Oh, man, I have to look this up again. I forgot the name already. Let's see here.
I feel like it's
season statistical leaders.
Got a couple names in my head.
Andre Simpson.
Simpson, yeah.
138.
Yeah.
So he's still got a ways to go. It's now 0-2 to Fletcher.
But there's a few names from recent years that's pretty close on that list, though.
Yeah, Jake Welch had 127 in 2019. Yep. Tyler Beardsley also had 116 in 2019. Randy Wynn, 114 in 2018. Max Duvall had 113 in 2017.
And all those guys from the 2019 season, Welch, Beardsley, and Wynn.
There's another strikeout, number 99 on the year for Holdgrafer as he gets Fletcher looking.
All of those climbed up the single season innings pitch charts as well.
Yeah, Ben Foster leads the franchise record for innings pitched in a single season in 2005, 141.1. Randy Wynn threw 134.1 in 2018. Trevor Walsh had 133 and a third in 2015. Beardsley 130 even in 2019. Jake Welch 129 even in 2019, to your point. 0-1 on Nolan Early.
I miss seeing Randy win in the Otters uniform, but I know he's had a big year with the Cincinnati Reds organization. So good to see that he's still pitching at the affiliated level.
0-1 runs in and hits Nolan Early. So with 2 outs, a hit by pitch extends the inning to Ariel Sandoval, as he singled in his last at-bat, then stole second base later on.
I believe his headshot for the year looked like he grew out the locks a little bit. Nice little flow for Randy Wynn, his Cincinnati Reds organization.
Have to
pitcher headshot.
Google that real fast, because I have not seen this headshot.
Either that or I saw it on his social media. Can't remember.
Going to his minor league baseball page. Yep. Chattanooga Lookouts, the AA affiliate. Always good to see former Otters getting an opportunity in the minor leagues again.
Yeah, him and Brandon Sittinger. Sittinger's, I believe, at AAA last checked. That was a couple weeks ago, and so we might keep an eye out for him for maybe being a call-up here with expanded rosters in the next. Well, I know they don't expand him as.
He is at the AAA affiliate, the Reno Aces,
I know they limited the expanded number compared to previous seasons at MLB, but
the September call-ups.
I mean, still he's pretty close.
1-0, a big swing from Sandoval as he pulled his head in.
You look at his numbers too.
Missed.
His ERA.
Got a 3.41 ERA and 32 games. He's got 5 saves in the year. A whip of 1.11. Certainly a solid reliever for the Reno Aces. A long pause now, a pickoff over first base. He's back in time. The Reno Aces, the AAA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks. As with the Diamondbacks pretty well out of contention, maybe he will get a chance to show what he's got at the major league level later on this season. The 1-1. Breaking ball fooled Sandoval. It's 1-2. And a back pick by Phillips, but Early's standing at first base. It was very nonchalant back pick. It almost looked like he threw it down to first base after a strikeout.
Yeah. I'm like, why are you throwing it? It's 2 outs. Head to the dugout.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner at first base is Nolan Early. Tim Holdgraver looking for strikeout number 100. He's got his sign and delivers. Got him swinging. It goes all the way back to the backstop as Phillips can't track down the baseball. So Sandoval's going to reach base safely, but that is strikeout number 100 on the year for Tim Holdgraver. Go figure that there has to be some sort of wackiness to it. But maybe we can get strikeout number 101 here in the inning. So that goes a strikeout wild pitch if you were keeping a book at home.
I guess it was against Gateway at home a couple weeks ago where there was a moment where we almost saw 4 strikeouts in 1 inning because of a situation like that.
Now, this isn't, I mean, I guess it is feasible to happen in this inning, but you wouldn't want that to happen because that would then result in the bases loaded. But yeah, it's probably up there with one of the more rare feats in baseball to get 4 strikeouts in a single inning. First pitch to Jamie Smart is a breaking ball low and away. It's 1-0. You know, I don't know if this ever happened or what the percentage chance of that this would ever happen. But I'm curious if someone's ever thrown an immaculate inning but had 4 strikeouts. So by that I mean 12 strikes, 4 outs. But one of those obviously reaches for a wild pitch. I wonder if that would even be a thing.
Tim Kirchen, if you're listening to Evansville Otters baseball tonight, we want you to do some deep dive research because I know you have the likes of the statistical prowess of Elias Sports Bureau at your side.
That would just be such an interesting thing. I don't know if that would ever happen. The likeliness of all that to happen, I mean...
I bet it's happened, though.
You think so?
I bet it has.
I mean, with as many games that have been played in the history of baseball at every single level, you would think it happened at some point, but 1-1, called strike at the knees, it's 1-2. Now, I'm sure that's probably happened in, like, high school.
Oh, yeah.
Just because you have some dominant pitcher and throws some crazy breaking ball that his catcher can't handle or something. But at the professional level, I'm not sure if that. I just wonder what the likelihood of that is. I tell you what, it's not very high. The 1-2. Grounded to the right side. Allen makes a diving play but cannot come up with it as it rolls into center field. Baez will throw it to second base. Runners on the corners now. It's 3-1. As once again, a hit by pitch with 2 outs comes back to bite a pitcher in this ball game. And now Southern Illinois draws 1 run closer. So an RBI single puts runners at the corner. Sandoval at third, Smart at first. There's another replay there as Josh Allen just cannot get to it. He did everything he possibly could. And that brings up Jared Mang. So not only do you have the hit by pitch that continue this inning, but the strikeout wild pitch is what really did him in. The first pitch to Mang. A little bit high, maybe inside 2, ball 1. On deck is Ian Walters, so Holgrafer trying to find a way to get out of this inning. 1-0 to Mang is a called strike at the knees. It's now 1-1. Mang grounded into a fielder's choice to end the first inning. He came up with 2 on and 2 out and grounded it to third base Mattis as he just tagged the runner. In that instance, it was Sandoval. And that got Holgrafer out of that jam. He's looking for another ground ball to get him out of the inning. 1-2. Misses, low and away. Two balls and a strike. Sandoval the runner at third. Smart's over at first after just driving in an RBI single. As this one's grounded to the left side, but foul past the diving Mattis. Evens it up at 2-2 with 2 outs and 2 on. Everyone will walk back to their bases. And Holgrafer looking for a new baseball, I think. So Mang now digs back in. This feels like an important pitch coming up.
Yeah. Saying the same thing. I don't think he even want to think about extending the game or extending the inning longer than this.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on and missed as Holgrafer gets out of it. Strikeout number 101 on the season. And he gets out of the bottom half of the third without allowing any more runs. It's now 3-1 as we head to the top half of the 4th inning. We'll come back after this on the Otters Digital Network.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Top of the fourth, Southern Illinois scraped a run across in the bottom half of the third with a little bit of a two-out rally, thanks to a hit by pitch and then a strikeout wild pitch that extended the inning. An RBI single by Jamie Smart, and now digging in is Dakota Phillips as he's down 0-1. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat as he grounds this one to the right side and for a base hit as he'll get things started with a single. Phillips now 1 for 2 tonight. And this is the same section of the order that started the second inning, albeit Phillips and Mcnamee both struck out to begin that inning, but that's when the Otters put up 2 runs to extend their lead to 3-0 at that time. And that's currently the difference in this ball game as Mcnamee now walks to the plate. Mcnamee went down looking in his first at-bat. Didn't like the call low and away and thought it should have been a ball, but alas, it was called the strike, and now he'll come up to bat with a runner on first base and nobody out. He swings first pitch and gives it a ride into left center field. That's going to get down in the gap and roll all the way to the wall as Mcnamee's going to have extra base hits, or extra bases, I should say. And scoring from first is Dakota Phillips, and Mcnamee in with a triple. That ball just kept rolling and rolling and rolling.
Hashtag cycle watch.
Because he's got the triple. Oh, goodness. It's now 4-1 in favor of the Otters. They get that run back immediately. Mcnamee picks up the RBI. And I guess if he homers tonight, I will allow hashtag cycle watch to happen. Andrew Penner now digs in. Nobody out. Runner at third base is Mcnamee, as he swings at the first pitch but misses. 0-1. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Ended up coming around to score.
Andrew Penner, which we got to welcome his brother and family to the ballpark last week.
Got to interview Ben on the air.
Yeah, he's on the air on the broadcast. Did press box trivia. And throw out a first pitch as well. Basically covered.
He got
covered
the
it
whole
all.
experience.
Yeah.
He got to stay downtown and try out a bunch of different places that we and others have suggested to him. The 1-1. It's in the turf now, 2-1. Also,
I'm just glad he got the trivia question right.
This is true.
What team did his brother win a championship with in 2019? That's no longer in existence.
That's very true.
And he was, as a good brother, followed along with his brother's career. The River City Rascals.
Could have been a trick question for sure. The 2-1, as that's going to drop down in front of the left fielder Brocado. That will score Mcnamee from third. An RBI single for Andrew Penner. 5-1 now in favor of the Otters. Of course, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we say, and I don't know anything about that 2019 season because I wasn't with the club at the time, but was Penner on the roster for the championship team, or was he on there formally? Okay. I couldn't remember if there was like a caveat with him being on that team initially and then trading away and still getting a ring, or how that worked.
He was on that team, like in terms of those that stick out that's still in the league. He was on that team. Achenbaugh, who's now with Lake Erie, was on that team. Tanner Cable, who was with Gateway, now with Schaumburg. Former Otter was on that team.
First pitch today, he uses a called strike 0-1. Obviously, with you working for the Otters on a daily basis, you keep up with the Frontier League a little bit better than I do. It's kind of part of your job as far as keeping track of transactions.
It
and
is?
stuff
That's
like that.
news to me, man.
Yeah. Especially when the Otters make a roster change. I'm sure you did not see that Josh Allen trade coming at all as far as whenever, that got announced.
It was still a surprise when I found out. I found out a little bit later than others. I know Mr. Bussing came up on that Saturday night prior to the signing with the
all he
kind
said
of the
is
awareness.
They
and
had
he
a
had
big move that was trying to be done.
Big move that they're trying to pull off. And
he said
really excited about it.
He said, all I'll say is a former player getting reacquired. That's all he said. He left it at that. It was a fun thing too, for sure, seeing Josh Allen come back to Boston Field for First time since 17.
And like I said, I think the first thoughts that I have, made a couple others in the press box, well, if it's a position player, probably Ryan Long.
That's who I thought of initially.
And then if it's a pitcher, maybe like Tyler Beardsley, because they're fairly recent within the last true season played.
DeJesus went down swing, so now that turns it back over to Gary Mattis.
But we're happy that at least one of our MVPs came back to us.
First pitch swing from Mattis, 0-1. Yeah, and it was a pleasant surprise, and of course it was an exciting social media post, I'm sure, from your perspective of posting that and just getting that word out to the fans, and I'm sure the fans well received it. Of course, it was well received at the ballpark as he came back to Bosse Field immediately and played in that 6-game homestand. Get acclimated with the team at home. And now he's on their first road trip.
And for him, he's just happy to be on a competitive club making a postseason push.
0-1 line down the left field line. That's going to roll all the way down in the quarter. This will be extra bases for Mattis once again as Brocado has a little bit of trouble with it. And they are going to send Pinner from first base. He scores. And Mattis, we'll see where he ended up. He might have advanced to third on the throw. He stays at second base. An RBI double for Mattis, his second double of the evening. And Evansville continues to pile on with another run in this inning. It's now 6-1.
Even though we don't have a promotion for it, I smell it. I smell the coffee brewing, Jordan Fisher.
6 is a serious number.
Yeah, with Josh Allen, he probably just, like I said, happy to have a chance to maybe play postseason baseball as Kane County and the American Association were mathematically out of their race in the standings to make the postseason there, so.
And again, Josh Allen, much like John Schultz, a local legend here in Evansville. First pitch outside, it's 1-0. We went through the record book, Bill and I did, whenever we were on the air. I guess it had been last Thursday, a week ago today. And we were just kind of going through all the different individual career records for the Otters, and it was almost every single category was either John Schultz or Josh Allen in a 1-2 scenario.
Yeah, 1-2, and probably the third, fourth spot was either Sweeney or Goldbach.
Yeah.
You could usually predict who was there.
You play that many games and have that much production, you're going to be up there, obviously. But it just speaks to what they've done for the organization.
Like I said, with Sweeney, great career. Unfortunately, that last year kind of had to battle the injury bug a little bit.
He was in and out of the lineup quite a bit and really struggled in that 16th season. The 1-0 pitch, flown into right center field as Mang moving to his left. He catches it. Mattis will stay at second base.
Oh.
He might have actually been on the run on that pitch because he was running back to second base.
Well, now he's going to third.
I'm very confused as to what happened.
What is happening?
Are they going to call catcher's interference? Because that's still Josh Allen at the plate, right?
Yeah.
Or are they going to call a balk?
0-1 in the count.
I'm very confused. I'm going to go to the live stats and see what.
Which they're probably confused, so they'll get a moment to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, they still show.
This is where we need the mic'd up
They
umpires.
still show Mcnamee at third base, so they're a little bit behind even more than that.
Just like they do with the basketball and football games where they can explain to the crowd what the call was.
So it shows a 1-0 count, and Mattis moves to third.
Only one out.
It's either a balk or catcher's interference. I would think it's a balk because Mattis has moved to third.
I'm going to say yes.
Catcher's interference wouldn't advance him to third. But did you see a balk?
Not live. I wish they would show a replay, but I know that they won't do that.
The 1-0 up in the zone, a check swing from Allen, and it's now 2-0. That's the only thing I can figure is that it was a balk. That's the only thing I can figure.
Which, if that was the case, it was probably called by the field ump, which we also couldn't see in the normal view.
I'm going to write it down as a balk in my scorebook. We'll see if it stays accurate. 2-0. Low in the zone, it's now 3-0. That's the beauty of writing in pen.
Like I said, I wish we mic up the umpire. After further review, the call on the field is a balk.
Yeah, that would be nice. Have some sort of feedback. Need to have a direct mic to the umpire from Marion all the way to Evansville.
Which, that one's fouled off, 3-1. when a call like that happens, or when there's a pitching change, you'll see the umpire kind of turn around and signal up to the press box to let them. Except they don't have no idea which one of us is the actual official scorer, who's supposed to be. But we all just kind of point like, yeah, we got you.
Well, the thing is too, sometimes we'll miss him doing that, especially if it's like a substitute in the outfield. Say it's a defensive substitution late in the game, and they put an outfielder in. It's now 3-2 after the foul ball there. But like we saw that actually in the final game against Gateway. Evansville snuck John Schultz into the outfield, and their official scorer had Schultz in for Jeffrey Baez for the longest time until Schultz came up to bat in Miles Gordon's spot. 3-2, ball 4 now to Josh Allen as he'll take first base. Runners in the corners, just one away as Jeffrey Baez now digs in.
That's a Deerhead Sidewalk Cafe and Bar.
There you go. You get all the reads in. Need to do Lucas Oil's dirtiest car. I think we should pick between our cars.
I was going to pick Pinto's car, his little Hot Wheel.
Oh, okay. We could do that, I guess. We could give him a dirtiest car.
Have you seen his car?
If not.
Yeah, no.
Is it dirty?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. He keeps that spit shine.
Oh, okay. Have him come all the way to Evansville just to get a car wash, and then drive all the way back and get all the bugs on it.
I've seen when I have made the trip to Marion, parked behind the clubhouse.
I don't think I ever have seen this car. I believe it. First pitch swinging, it's 0-1. Some people really, really care about how their car looks from an exterior standpoint.
I try.
I like to keep mine clean, but that's a lot of work sometimes.
Unfortunately, the construction dust and the ballpark dust doesn't last long.
It becomes a point where
I do get a lot of compliments on how clean I keep the inside, because I'm not one to just kind of throw stuff around in my car and just leave it there. No, I mean,
am. I have like 12 water bottles in my floorboard of my passenger seat.
I can't handle that. No.
It's definitely due for a cleaning out.
The only, just keep the necessities, and obviously there's some dirt and grass might get on, and eventually I'll vacuum that out. But in terms of actual items, no.
I wish I had that sort of self-control. I just find it so much easier to have, a quarter left of a water bottle, and it just gets tossed in the floorboard because it's no good anymore. Austin still on the mound for the Miners. He's got runners in the corners, one out. 0-2 to Baez. Swung on and missed at the curveball. It's now 2 away in the inning.
He's got sharp break to it when he has good command. I mean, there's a lot of break to that pitch for Austin.
Yeah, that thing started up by the eyeballs and ended up at the shins. A 12-6 breaking ball there from Austin.
One of the better breaking balls I've seen across the league this year. It's just a matter of keeping command of it, and then of course spotting the fastball to counterbalance it.
So either Point Streak is having issues, or the official scorer has stopped scoring the game because it's still stuck with Mcnamee at third base.
He's out. I'm done. That's what he did.
He said, "I've seen enough."
Just left.
That ball, it goes off the glove of Nieto, pops up off the helmet of Riley Crane, and then Nieto fires it down to second base. I suppose that's going to go as a wild pitch. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no one's there to score.
That was a wild play, that's for sure. I've never seen the ball ricochet out of the glove and off the helmet of the batter, and then the catcher field it and throw to second base.
So this isn't even a real game. I'm out of here.
The 1-0.
Oof.
Breaking ball. Crane lays off, but it's a called strike. It's now 1-1.
See, even if you make contact, you're not going to do much with it, but probably just bounce it in the ground.
I'm really curious what they're going to call that. What do you think would that be? I think it's a wild pitch or a pass ball. It was a little bit outside, but it popped off the glove.
Save his ERA. They'll probably go pass ball.
There you go. 2-1 now. Riley Crane in the batter's box. 17 homers on the year for Crane. 72 RBI on the year for Riley Crane. A chance to add 1 or 2 to that total with a base hit here. He gives a ride out to left field, but it's right at the left fielder Brocado as he drifts back a couple steps. And that does it for the top half of the 4th inning. 3 runs scored in the inning for the Otters. They now lead it 6-1 as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Walters, Brocado, Nieto due up for Southern Illinois here on the Otters Digital Network.
Welcome to a place that feels like home. A place that cares about all of you. Built to help you grow in more ways than you can possibly imagine. To make new friends, travel new paths, soar to new heights, and deepen your spiritual experience. Welcome to Oakland City University.
Centerpoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
We head to the bottom half of the fourth inning as the Evansville Otters extend their lead further. They scored 3 in the top half, so it's now 6-1 as Tim Holdgrafer continues to work with a cushion, as he will now face the bottom half of the order for the Miners. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up: Walters, Brocado, Nieto. Holdgrafer winds and fires. First pitch is a called strike. Last inning was a little bit wacky for Holdgrafer and the Otters. It was a flyout and a strikeout looking. All was good until a hit by pitch, a strikeout wild pitch, and then an RBI single followed by a swinging strikeout to end the inning. He picked up strikeout number 100 in, I would call it, unique fashion. Not really notable fashion.
Yeah, I mean, is it really maybe like 100 and a half?
Right? That's I've always wondered that. It's like, should a pitcher only get a half a strikeout if a batter still reaches base? It's quickly 1-2 on Walters, by the way.
Which sports is?
Because I think of like NFL sacks or like sacks in football.
That's what I was wondering. If tackles and sacks are the only one like sports stats.
Hockey, you get a hockey assist instead of a regular assist. It's an assist to the assist.
It's still an assist though.
Right, but that's a hockey assist compared to like a basketball assist, where it's
same in soccer. But out of the main 4 sports professionally, I think that would be the only one.
2-2 foul back. That has a technical half.
Yeah.
And that one, of course, is if 2 players meet at the same time and you can't determine who got there first, or you don't want to determine who got there first. You're just like, all right, they each got a half a sack, or they each get a half a tackle. Because you can't get a half a pick.
That'd be great, like that's half a hit, half an error.
2-2. It's like half a strikeout, half a walk. It's now 3-2.
A double, half a home run.
Yeah, there you go. There's your half a home run. You get a double. If only you got a half a run every time you got a double. 3-2's fouled off. We'll do it again. You know, you get a double and a home run, you get half a cycle. Hashtag cycle watch. Exactly. Wonder if Zane is tuning in. Home Team Friday didn't start until I think like 9. 3-2 swung on a miss. Another strikeout for Tim Holdgrafer as it's the first out of this inning. That brings up Anthony Brocado. 0-for-2 now is Ian Walters.
Next, I don't remember what time. Let's see. Home Team Friday's later. He had another assignment elsewhere earlier this evening.
He stays busy. Very busy. Wonder if Zane has applied for the PA Pacers job yet. Saw that opened up today.
He'd do it in a heartbeat if they offered it to him.
Oh, yeah, I think he would, too. And I wouldn't blame anybody. I mean, that's NBA level.
He'll commute from Evansville to Indianapolis every day.
Every day if it made it happen. Yeah. He absolutely would.
Perfect schedule, because then during the summer, it's, baseball season. You just come back doing the Otters and then do basketball in the winter.
I think Zane might be a little bit more protected from potentially breaking his elbows if he doesn't. If he doesn't have to referee all year and he can just do PA. The 1-1 popped up behind home plate. It's now 1-2. Of course, just giving Zane a little bit of a grief in case he's listening.
Yeah, he's always dishing it out to us.
Yeah, man.
We gotta dish it back.
Yeah, gotta get it back to him sometimes. Winding and firing the 1-2. This one very low below the zone. It's now 2-2. Now, I will say, I find it kind of impressive, too, because Zane's the only person I've ever known to break both of his elbows.
I got him last night.
Oh, you did?
I threw a Bob and Tom reference back at him and left him speechless for a little bit.
Really? Oh, man. I can't wait to hear about this on the next homestand.
He was just talking about, I think it was with the standings of the schedule with the remaining part of the season left. And basically it's like, as long as the Otters stay ahead of Florence, they'll win the whole thing. And I go, thank you, Mr. Obvious.
That's awesome.
Which obviously most people think of the general reference of Captain Obvious, but Mr. Obvious is a specific bit with Bob and Tom. Left him speechless.
That is awesome. Yeah, because he couldn't say anything back to it. There's no way he could. Holgrafer peers in for his sign as now Phillips gives it to him. The 2-2. Fastball outside. It's now 3-2. Anthony Brocado, the Miners left fielder, at the plate. 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout looking. The payoff. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts as Brocado goes down swinging. 2 away in the inning.
Great pitch. Because out of the hand, it looks like it's going to be about thigh, belt high on the outer half, right where you can really center one up. And then it just sinks down to that lower, actually below the zone, but down and away in that corner area.
8 strikeouts now for Holgrafer, as he's 1 out away from being through 4 innings. Nieto now digs in. He went down looking in his first at-bat. It was good morning, good afternoon, and good night in that first at-bat. Fairly non-competitive from Nieto, and the first pitch is a called strike, 0-1.
Oops. Let's see, too far. So his season best is 10 strikeouts.
He's got a chance to break that tonight. The 0-1, called strike. It's now 0-2. Nieto doesn't like it as he kind of tosses his bat in the air a little bit and steps out of the batter's box. We'll see if Tim Holgrafer can get a fourth consecutive strikeout. He struck out the last batter to end the third. See if he can get strikeout number 4 in a row. The 0-2. Fouled off, just barely getting a piece is Nieto, and we'll do it again.
Really good slider right there.
See if he can also get Nieto for the second time tonight. And amazingly, Preston, there's only 2 batters in this lineup still that have not struck out against Holgrafer. Jamie Smart walked and singled. Delton Gudinho has had 1 at-bat. He's on deck. He flew out to right. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 once again. Holgrafer strikes out the side. All 3 swinging. 4 strikeouts in a row for Holgrafer, as now he's up to 9 total on the evening. We head to the top of the 5th. J.R. Davis will lead things off for the Otters. They lead it 6-1 on the Otters Digital Network.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged due to reckless digging. So Indiana relies on these 811 superheroes. Derek the Builder.
I dig for a living, but I always contact 811.
Mary the Gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the Contractor.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Prevent damage or injury. Call 811 anytime or go online 811now.com. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and this station.
Come be a part of a nationally recognized program in criminal justice. The Criminal Justice Program at Oakland City University provides students with in-depth knowledge in the fields of law enforcement, forensics, corrections, and juvenile justice. Learn through hands-on experiences and train in areas of investigative forensics, criminology, and police administration. A career-focused major is in your reach and all in a Christian university setting that feels like home. Oakland City University.
Top of the fifth as J.R. Davis steps up to the batter's box. A new pitcher on the mound for Southern Illinois, a right-handed reliever, Zach Lausen, out of the bullpen. A 6'3", 190-pound righty from North St. Paul, Minnesota. He's making appearance number 7 on the season, a 4.32 ERA. 8 and a third innings pitched. 5 strikeouts, 10 walks, 6 hits for Lausen. As he bounces the first pitch, or actually quickly 1-1 already. I didn't even see the first pitch to Jared Davis. His last outing was against Florence. He pitched 1 inning in a 13-5 loss, as the 1-1 is swung through and missed by Davis. It's 1-2. Didn't allow a hit, didn't allow a run. Did allow 1 walk. And just 4 batters faced in that game.
I think when you
faced Evansville once earlier this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, not very long. Was it, say, 2/3 of an inning?
The 1-2 called third strike looking as J.R. Davis goes down quickly, his second strikeout of the night. And the first out of this inning, as that brings up Dakota Phillips. Against Evansville back on August 18th, he pitched 2/3 of an inning, walked 1 batter, struck out 1, only faced 3 batters. Did not allow to hit or run. His longest relief appearance this year has been against Joliet. Went 3 2/3. 3 hits, 1 earned in that one. Faced 14 batters, and it looks like Southern Illinois might ask him to eat a couple innings here and try to get back to their normal spot where they'll turn the game over to the bullpen in the 7th or 8th. First pitch swinging by Phillips, it's 0-1. Phillips singled in the 4th inning to start things off, came around to score on Mcnamee's RBI triple. 1, it's now 0-2. And if you're only following the game on point streak, that's where the game is still at.
I would say for the Otters, if they go to their bullpen with this kind of lead, you probably suspect to see maybe some Almonte action, maybe Joe Riley.
I was gonna say Joe Riley.
And
you know what? Give Jacob Bowles a chance. Is he available to pitch?
Well, he went pretty lengthy the other night in relief of O'Reilly. So I would say he's probably still on rest. And then Abernathy would also be available. Because last night, you had Spring and Gallardo and Sawyer, so. Yeah, because Bowles came in, he went over 3+ innings.
You know what I like the better idea of? Tim Holgrafer just manages to get through 9.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That would be pretty sweet. And if he does that, he might have a chance at challenging the strikeout record for a single game.
I mean, offhand here, I don't think I'll set the Cardinals. Jeez, the Otters have had a full 9-inning complete game this year. I think their complete games have just been the 7-inning doubleheaders.
Yeah. Braden Scott, I think, has the longest outing at 8 innings, if I remember correctly. The 1-2 Inside, it's now 2-2. Of course, Holgrafer, if he's going to be striking out people like he has been, his pitch count's going to be pretty high. Not exactly sure what that's at because, again, point streak is not working, so we don't have the live stats. And they haven't put any sort of counter on the screen for the Miners broadcast. I could probably guesstimate what he's at, but it would take me a second to go through all those pitches. And
so let's see, last night, later in the start for Gossman.
3-2 to Phillips, called third strike. He didn't like it as he drops the bat, thinking it was ball 4. 2 away.
As a catcher, he doesn't like it, that's for sure. Where point streak was a little behind last night, and Jevin made a guess of what his pitch count was. Eventually, point streak did get caught up, and he came within, I believe it was like about 5 pitches of where it was.
Yeah, I mean, it would take me a second to sift through all this and figure out where I think he actually is. Just by looking at my scorebook, I would say he's probably in the 60 to 65 range. That's just by glancing at it. First pitch is a ball to Elijah Mcnamee. Birthday boy had an RBI triple in his last at-bat. As I mentioned, subsequently broke point streak for this live game.
Obviously, he's a state baseball guy at heart, but I bet he's excited for Mississippi State football season to start.
3-0 to Mcnamee as he's taking all the way, and he thought it was a ball. It was a called strike, so he's just going to adjust his shin pad, or shin guard. But yeah, of course, SEC
There's been a few
football.
reactions tonight that I don't think is going to earn the favor of the umpire.
No, I don't think so either. And you know what? I think if Dakota Phillips gets out there, you think he's like, hey, okay, you give him that pitch. You make sure you give my guy that pitch. As the 3-1 fouled straight back, it's 3-2.
Ooh, careful, that almost came through the net.
But yeah, no, SEC football getting closer and closer as we get to the college football season. It is officially underway. Ohio State, Minnesota, I think, is the headliner game tonight. 3-2 fouled off.
Is that started, or is that like a late start?
I think it starts at 7 o'clock Central, so I think it's already on.
Get a score here.
It might have started at 8 o'clock Central. But either way, college football is upon us.
It's halftime. Minnesota 14-10.
They lead it? Really? 3-2 swung on and missed. We might have to talk about that when we come back, because I was fully expecting Ohio State to jump out quickly and end up getting a big lead. Otters go quietly in the top half of the 5th as Zach Lausen actually strikes out the side. We head to the bottom half, 9-1-2 due up for the Miners when we come back on the Otters Digital Network.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, 9-1-2 due up for the Miners of Southern Illinois as they trail it by a score of 6-1 at Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois. Jordan Fisher and Preston Leinenbach working remotely from Bossy Field in Evansville. As thanks to modern technology, we're allowed to do this stuff, and
this might be the future.
It allows me to still work my full-time job while still helping you guys out. The 1-0 fouled off as it's now even against Gadino 1-1. He is 0 for 1 tonight with a fly out to right field. I mentioned he's only one of 2 batters in this Miners lineup that has not struck out against Holdgrafer tonight. Just him and Jamie Smart left. Holdgrafer with 9 strikeouts already this evening, the 1-1, as this one's lined back 1-2, and it's now a chance for strikeout number 10.
Strikeout, strikeout.
Looks like he might have a chance at it. By the way, looking at my scorebook again, it might be a little bit of a high estimate. What I was talking about was 60 to 65. He might be closer to 50. So we'll see how far he gets to go in this game. The 1-2 grounded to DeJesus at shortstop. He throws over to first base in plenty of time, 1 away.
Well, he didn't quite have as much movement on it as he wanted.
So his first pitch, or his first inning he pitched, he threw 20 pitches in that inning. And then 23, 26, 29 total after 2. As this is Bryant Fletcher stepping in now, the Miners second baseman. Batting from the left side as he watches the first pitch for ball 1. Inning number 3, he went with, let's see, 30, 33. As the 1-0 is high for ball 2. That's 35. 6, 7, 8. 39. 43. 48 after 3. I think my guesstimate was on. 2-0. Called strike on the outside corner. It's now 2-1. So then inning number 4, he crosses the 50 pitch threshold in his first at bat, or his first batter face, I should say. He gets up to 54, 59, 6. I had him at 63. Now I might have missed a couple foul balls, so I was right there in my range, I guess. I said 60 to 65. 2-1 popped up left side. That's going to be out of play as Mattis runs out of room. So he's up in that 70 pitch range, which through 5 innings, it's not too bad, but you stay on that kind of pace, you're probably looking at 6 or 7 innings. And if you get 11, 12 punch outs, I think you'll call that a win tonight for Tim Holdgrafer on the mound.
Like I said, they should be good bullpen-wise.
I mean, a win as far as an individual performance goes, not
So,
exactly.
I mean, it's not like they have to overextend them.
Right.
Especially
2-2 swung on and flown out to right field. Mcnamee giving chase, and this is off the wall as he will quickly haul it in and fires it to Josh Allen, but it's a 1-out double for Bryant Fletcher.
And the thing you have to consider with the pitching strategy, I guess, is the fact that Monday's not a day off.
It is not, yep.
You don't have that extra day rest. And
maybe you do try to stretch him a little bit.
The rotation does go straight through. As of right now, based on how the rotation has been set, you would have Scott and Portella, O'Reilly, Gossman on Monday. So Holdgrafer's next start would be on Tuesday.
So maybe you do try to extend them a little bit and save that bullpen, because I think it'd be easier to keep the starters on a rotation, obviously.
But also, do you look at the flip side where you try to save Holdgrafer's bullets because he doesn't have the extra day of rest like he probably would normally have had.
First pitch to Nolan Early, he swings and misses 0-1. It's definitely a dilemma that pitching coach Max Peterson's going to have to think about as this game moves forward, because if Holdgrafer runs into some trouble, maybe that changes everything. The 0-1 called strike on the inside part of the plate. It's now 0-2 to Nolan Early.
And he didn't like that call, so at least the dislike for the calls have gone both ways.
Runner at second base is Bryant Fletcher, as he's there with 1 out. Nolan Early batting from the left side. He's at the dish. The 0-2 as he fouls it off and lives for another pitch. I would think if you're Max Peterson, I think you'd be more than thrilled to get him through 7. If you get him through 7 and still maintain a 5 or 6 run lead, then you should be able to turn that ball over to the bullpen with confidence. The 0-2 a little bit upstairs. It's now 1-2. Of course, this is also a very important game, so you don't want to try to stretch him too much if he gets into some trouble. Because a win here against Southern Illinois kind of feels like 2 wins in the win column. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Colgrave for looking for strikeout number 10. Struck out 4 in a row. Got 1 to end the 3rd, and then 3 straight as it was 3 up, 3 down in the 4th. DeJesus holding Fletcher on at second base. Now he bounces back to his shortstop position. As the delivery, 2-2, grounded right side, right at Josh Allen. He'll scoop it up and toss it over to first. That's 2 away as Fletcher will now advance to third base. He's 90 feet from home plate. That brings in Ariel Sandoval, the designated hitter. Also will play some outfield for this Miners team. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He singled in this first inning, I should say, and was the final out of that inning on the fielder's choice. And then he reached base in the 3rd on a strikeout wild pitch, which eventually extended the inning enough to get an RBI single for Jamie Smart. First pitch. Watches it for strike 1. Mentioned earlier, Sandoval, not a lot of power. 2 home runs, 4 doubles this season. But he does hit for a high average. He's just looking for a base hit here to drive in Fletcher from third base. The 0-1. This one gets away from the catcher, Phillips, and he's not going to have to worry about driving in. A wild pitch is going to allow Fletcher to score, and it's now 6-2.
Honestly, that might be a pass ball. Kind of like Phillips closed the glove early before he actually caught it.
And he might have. Of course, like I said earlier, the live stats is frozen. I'll try to refresh it one more time. So what my scorebook says won't even be the official one. So really all that matters is whoever's keeping track of the official score in Marion. But I would also agree with you because it looked like it was certainly a catchable pitch for Phillips as the 1-1 is flown out to deep left field, moving back as Pennery settles on the warning track and he puts it away for out number 3. But the damage is done as a potentially pass ball, whatever you want to call it. It scores a run. It's now 6-2 as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. Penner, DeJesus, Mattis due up for the Otters when we come back on the Otters Digital Network.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Top of the 6th, Andrew Penner digs in as Zach Lausen's still on the mound. First pitch to Penner is a called strike. It's 0-1. Penner's been on base twice tonight and scored both times. He got on with a hit by pitch in his first at-bat in the second. Came around to score on a wild pitch and then got a single in the fourth and came around to score once again on Gary Mattis's double. It's now quickly 1-1 as he pops this one up to the right side of the infield and out of play. 1-2 for Andrew Penner. Penner's had himself a good night. Also going back to whenever his brother was in town and when right before we had him on the air, Bill McCune was telling me here at Bossy Field that he got called out for calling him Andy. His name is Andrew Penner, as his family really wanted to make it known.
Yeah, you have Andrew, you have Andy DeJesus, then you have Andy McCauley.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can only have 2 Andys, not 3.
It feels like every year there's always like 3 or 4 players with like the same name.
The 1-2 flown to the right side and fouled.
Like in I think it was 2019, we had like multiple Tylers and Taylors, and it was just like, yeah, so we had Taylor Wright, Taylor Lane, Tyler Vale. We had one other Tyler, I feel like, but I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. In fact, one day, Andy McCauley goes to me, he's like, what was I thinking, getting all these guys with the same name?
It can get a little bit confusing for sure. I think one year...
Because we were talking, he goes, he's talking about one play like, oh, Taylor, no Tyler, no Taylor.
It can get very confusing. The 2-2 gets away from the catcher as it was a swinging strikeout, but Penner reaches base in the wild pitch. It deflected away from the catcher Nieto towards the third base side of the field. And that allows Penner to reach base with nobody out. So we've seen not only 1 but 2 strikeout wild pitches tonight. And that brings up Andy DeJesus. I want to say in 2016, it wasn't that they had the same names, but there were a lot of J names. There was John Schultz, Josh Allen, Jeff Gardner was added in the middle of that year. I'm trying to think of who else was on that team. I thought there were a couple pitchers that were named Jeff or Josh or John. It could get a little bit confusing from that standpoint for sure. As long as they don't have same last names, that's where it really gets confusing. Remember when the Pacers used to have three Hills? They had all 3 Hills in the NBA at one point.
Yeah.
1-0 is a called strike. It's 1-1. A couple years ago, the Pacers had TJ Leaf and TJ McConnell on the same team.
Right, yep.
And then you had TJ Warren get added as well. 1-1. This is inside to Jesus. It's now 2-1. Recently, the Pacers traded Aaron Holiday away, brother of Justin Holiday, who is also a Pacer. Aaron was a Pacer. Their brother Drew just won a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. Of course, you have the Antetokounmpo family.
Antetokounmpo.
Giannis, the big superstar in Milwaukee.
Yeah, because like all 3 of them are in the NBA now, right?
Yeah. Costas, I believe, if I remember correctly, Costas is with Milwaukee with Giannis. And then I think it's pronounced Thanasis, I believe, was with the Lakers. Or maybe Costas with the Lakers and Thanasis was with the Bucks. But every member of that trio of brothers are champions. And then the youngest, Alex Antetokounmpo, actually was playing in Summer League with the Kings. I'm not sure if he signed to a roster. But he's like 17 or 18 years old. So it could be 4 Antetokounmpo brothers in the NBA before we know it. The 2-2 to Jesus misses outside. It's now 3-2. Trying to think of other brothers. Cody Zeller and Tyler Zeller were in the NBA together at one point. A couple Indiana kids. Luke Zeller was in the NBA at one point too, although I don't know if he was ever in there with both Tyler and Cody.
Actually, I've broadcasted with Luke Zeller before.
3-2, ground to the right side as Fletcher will tag Penner, and then he throws to first base for the double play.
He did a couple games with us at the University of Evansville ESPN production crew.
I got to meet Tyler Zeller way back when I was in high school. Or not Tyler Zeller, Cody Zeller. The North Carolina Tar Heels were playing UE.
Mm-hmm.
I got a picture with Cody.
Yeah, I was torn in that game.
I believe it. You're a Carolina Tar Heel fan. But Evansville is also home. And at that time, you would have probably been decided to go into UE, right?
No, I was probably
because that was 2010 when I was there.
I would have been just finishing up middle school.
Oh yeah, you are a few years younger than me. I was for some reason thinking you're like same age as me.
Yeah, because I remember watching them play Tyler Hansborough.
0-1's lined at the third baseman Walters as Mattis hit it hard, but not very much luck as he swung at the first pitch. So technically 3 up, 3 down for the Otters. As we head to the bottom half of the sixth, it's 6-1. Smart, Mang, Walters due up for the Miners when we come back on the Otters Digital Network.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Bottom sixth at Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois. Otters lead at 6-1 as Tim Holdgrafer back out there for another inning of work. He'll deal with the 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Southern Illinois Miners. Jamie Smart followed by Jared Mang and then Ian Walters. First pitch to Smart is a called strike. It's 0-1. Jordan Fisher and Preston Leidenbach in Evansville, Indiana, working from Bosse Field remotely. Eagerly awaiting the Otters to return home for that 6-game homestand to close out the regular season.
Hey, I see Kim Ellison back there in the background. We see you, Kim. They're on the third base side next to the dugout with the Otters on the road at Marion.
The 1-1 to Smart. A good breaking ball called strike two.
I believe it was on Sunday he made the trip to Gateway.
It's always nice when you see familiar faces making the trip like that, especially when it's Gateway in Southern Illinois. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. As Holdgrafer peering in for a sign from Phillips. And the delivery. Breaking ball misses low and away. It's now 3-2. Also, I think when I came back in, I think I said 6-1 in favor of the Otters. It's 6-2.
Yeah, one of their runs doesn't count.
The Miners scored in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The 3-2 as Smart gets a hold of this one, hits it well out to right field. Mcnamee moving back. He looks up, and that ball is gone. That one counts. 6-3 now as the Miners cut into the deficit. Jamie Smart hitting a home run, as that is his second home run of the year with the Miners. a sudden, it's a 3-run ball game.
Breaking ball was inside, which we've seen Smart take a swing at earlier in this game.
That one just hung up a little bit.
Yeah, that one, just didn't quite get inside enough either.
It was a very good piece of hitting by Smart for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
But I think that pitch caught a little more part of the plate than what Holgrafer wanted to.
Because for him to launch it out, he had to go with a more uppercut swing. And
first pitch to Jared Mang's a called strike on 1. And to your point with the that back foot breaking ball down and into a lefty from a righty, that is kind of the risky run. You leave it up, it can be right in the little wheelhouse for those uppercut swingers. And we saw Smart lift that one with plenty of launch angle and plenty of distance. They kind of golfed it out. The 1-1 to Mang. This one fouled straight back. It's now 1-2. Mang steps back in as Holdgraver's back on the rubber. Staying a little bit closer to the first base side of the rubber is the 1-2 delivery.
Yep.
Called third strike on the breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. Strikeout number 10 of the night for Holdgrafer. And that's a big first out here in this 6th inning as he answers back after giving up that solo home run to begin the inning.
Matching his season best so far with 10 Ks. And most importantly, like you mentioned, Jordan, bouncing back and not letting that home run snowball into another hit or base runner.
So 10 strikeouts on the night for Tim Holdgrafer. As the first pitch is a called strike, it's 0-1 to Ian Walters. So that now puts him at 105 strikeouts on the season. And I'm going to look to see if we can get an update on Orchansky. He finished with 5 strikeouts, so he was 1 behind Holdgrafer tonight.
These Centerpoint streaks working.
0-1 is swung on a miss. It's 0-2. So Orchansky's going to be at 99 strikeouts now. He entered the night at 94. And then Holdgrafer will pass Ryan Fearbend, who is sitting at 100 coming into tonight. Of course, Fearbend's not pitching.
The knuckleballer for Lake Erie.
Doesn't throw it as often as I thought he would, but he definitely mixes it in and keeps batters honest with it, which is certainly important. And obviously it's not fun to hit a knuckleball either, or try to. The 1-2. This one misses the inside part of the play as it's 2-2. So Orchansky now is technically second as far as if you go to look at the leaderboard. But we know that Holdgrafer has surpassed that total already tonight. And he continues to chug along and try to get that strikeout crown. 2-2 misses low and away. It's 3-2. And so with the Otters having 10 games remaining, you figure Holdgrafer gets probably 2 more starts in the regular season after tonight. As the 3-2 fouled, and we'll do it again.
What's the scoreboard looking like elsewhere?
Let's refresh the Frontier League TV scoreboard. So, doubleheader between New Jersey and Tri-City. Tri-City won game number 1, 5-2. New Jersey takes game number 2, 2-1. As the 3-2 from Holdgrafer is delivered to Walters. Strike 3 looking once again as Walters tosses his bat to the dugout, but he'll have to walk back to the dugout too. Strikeout number 11 on the night, and a new season high for Tim Holdgrafer. Let's see, elsewhere in the Frontier League, Gateway leads Schaumburg by a score of 9-6 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. That game being played at GCS Credit Union Ballpark. In the bottom of the 8th, Équipe Quebec leads Sussex County 5-1. The Florence Yawls lead Windy City 6-2 in the top of the 7th at Ozinga Field. Lake Erie leads Joliet 2-0. And then the Washington Wild Things defeated the New York Boulders by a score of 8-7. Brocado stepping in to bat now. As he watched the first pitch for a called strike, it's 0-1. And it looks like Preston, they must have had some sort of issue with point streak because it shows a second game created for Evansville in Southern Illinois. So maybe they're trying to figure that out on their end over there in Marion.
Oh, so they didn't like how it started, and they're trying to start over.
Hey, let's redo this.
Now, you said 11 strikeouts for Holdgrafer. That's one off of the individual high on the team for the Otters, as Braden Scott had a dozen a couple weeks ago. Well, more than a couple weeks ago, at the beginning of August.
The 1-1 as Brocado grounds it to the second baseman, Allen. He will field it and throw it to first base in plenty of time. As after giving up the solo shot to begin the inning, Holdgrafer settles in. Back-to-back strikeouts, gets a ground out to get out of the inning. We head to the top of the seventh. Evansville still leads at 6-3 on the Otters Digital Network.
Welcome to a place that feels like home. A place that cares about all of you. Built to help you grow in more ways than you could possibly imagine. To make new friends, travel new paths, soar to new heights, and deepen your spiritual experience. Welcome to Oakland City University.
Centerpoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
We head to the top of the seventh inning. Evansville's lead now only down to 3 runs after the solo home run from Jamie Smart. It was his second hit of the night. He led it off with a solo shot, and then Holdgrafer settled in back-to-back strikeouts and a ground out to get through that bottom half of the sixth. And now Josh Allen will lead things off for the Otters in the top of the seventh as he comes in tonight 1 for 2. He tripled and scored in the first inning, grounded out in the second inning, and then reached with a walk and was stranded at second base in the third inning. It's a 1-0 count to Josh Allen. As Zach Lausen's still out there, and the 1-1 is a called strike, or the 1-0 is a called strike. It's now 1-1. Allen, the Otters' second baseman, swings as it's now 1-2. He had a good series against Gateway over the weekend. Has been pretty good for Evansville ever since he arrived back in Evansville. It's the 1-2. Misses just off the plate. It's now 2-2. Allen hitting .414 in 8 games coming into tonight. 2 homers, one of those coming against Gateway. As the 2-2 fouled off, and we'll do it again. Also 2 doubles. He picked up his first triple of the year tonight for Evansville. But the story so far has been Tim Holdgrafer for the Evansville Otters. The bats have certainly supported him, as another foul ball here from Allen.
Yeah, you mentioned the strikeout total as well. single game record, which probably won't get into that vicinity, is 16 for the Otters. It's been tied by two former Otters, Jose Velez in 2014.
2-2 is flown out into center field, giving chase into center field as Mang. He sells underneath it for out number 1.
As well as Chris Pillsbury, which was a member of that 2006 championship team. So 16 is the mark, and if you remember in 2017, early in the season, I believe it was the home opening weekend, if I recall correctly, as I've slept a little bit since then. Felix Baez, I remember the strikeout performance by Felix Baez, 14 strikeouts in that game. It was on the Sunday series finale, in which the Otters lost the game, surprisingly enough. Usually when you get a guy who throws that many strikeouts, you win the game.
And normally you're shutting down the opposing offense, and you don't need much help to win. It's now 1-1 on Baez as he swings and misses. This is Jeffrey Baez. No relation to Felix Baez, who Preston was just discussing.
And as a team that day, the Otters, back in 2017 in that game, overall had 22 strikeouts as the relievers came in after him for
So they
8
struck
strikeouts.
out 22 of 27 outs
Yeah.
and still lost the game. That's actually incredible.
As Gateway was the opponent and earned the win that day.
It's a 1-2 count on Jeffrey Baez. He's looking for his first hit of the night. He's 0 for 2. Had a ground out and a strikeout swinging. He did drive in a run with a sac fly way back in the first. But he had a 4-hit night last night. And it's now 2-2. Holgrafer out 11 strikeouts. We'll see if he can maybe equal Baez at some point before he exits tonight's game.
I mean, just in recent years, under pitching coach Max Peterson, there's been some pretty masterful strikeout performances on the mound. I mean, the likes of Max Duval, Luke Rennie.
The 3-2, a little poke out into center field as Baez gets a base hit. His first base hit of the night, it's a single. He'll be at first base. Of course, also, you mentioned Max Duval. There was another name that stood out to me earlier when we were looking at the single season stats.
I know Ackerman obviously had the big game, but he also had some good strikeout performances. Patrick McGuff. I mean, there's been a lot of them here in the last few years.
These season's stats again. We were talking about Randy Wynn earlier. Tyler Beardsley. A couple former Otters that had high strikeout totals in the season. As the first pitch to Riley Crane, inside for ball 1. Also want to point out that when you look at the Frontier League leaderboard, of the top 7, the Otters have 3 pitchers in that list. The others being Polo Portela and Austin Gossman. Runner going as a high pitch to Crane as it's thrown into center field. Baez will now go first to third as Jeffrey Baez gets a steal. The catcher Nieto will be charged probably with an error. And all of a sudden, with 1 out, the Otters have a runner at third base. And they are trying to catch up the point streak, by the way, if you are...
If you don't mind, pass me the guide along.
Okay. I was trying to figure out what I thought you wanted my Cracker Jacks. Like, you have your own.
Yeah, give me those too.
It's now 3-0 against Crane.
I already went through all of mine. I need more.
It's like, you ate your Cracker Jacks. Yeah, they're trying to catch it up on point streak. As Crane watches ball 4, it scoots away from the catcher Nieto, but nobody will run home as Crane will walk over to first base, and it'll be runners in the corners with 1 out.
So entering this series, the Otters had 711 strikeouts from a pitching standpoint. In 2019, regular season, 868.
It's a lot.
Whereas the year before, when they broke, as I mentioned, they broke that previous team record, 832.
You said they broke the record again that previous season, right? You say in 16, they broke 15's record, and then 17 broke 16's record, and then 18 broke 17's record.
Let's see.
Was that correct?
Hold on, let's get the page.
Got a long meeting here on the mound. It looks like Lausen's going to stay in the game as J.R. Davis now steps in.
And then the championship season, 721.
So not quite 868. J.R. Davis digs in, runners in the corners. 1 out as the first pitch to him is a called strike, 0-1. And really the thing is, whenever I think about the 2016 season, they had some good starting pitchers that racked up some strikeouts. But for the most part, I felt like their pitchers did a really good job of just eating innings and going deep into ball games. And a lot of that has to do with inducing soft contact and getting those easy outs whenever you get them. It's nice to have a bunch of punch outs, but that can also lead to high pitch counts and a little bit harder to go deep into games. 1-1 flown down the right field line, and it's foul. It's 1-2. And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier with Holgrafer and his pitch count going into the 5th inning being in the 60s. Is you don't really have a whole lot of wiggle room for those next couple innings to try to get it to 7, maybe 8 innings. Of course, we'll see how far pitching coach Max Peterson decides to stretch him. 1-2 misses inside. It's now 2-2 to Davis. Jeffrey Baez over at third base. He stole second, then advanced to third on the throw that went into center field. Still unsure 100% if it was a charge to the catcher or if it was a misplay by the fielder, but I would imagine it went to the catcher. And then Riley Crane walked to be at first base. Check swing. They'll appeal down to first base, and they will say he went. Strikeout swinging from J.R. Davis, his 3rd strikeout of the night. And that brings up Dakota Phillips with 2 on and 2 out here in the top of the 7th.
Who would do the Miners have due up?
The Miners, when they come up to bat, will have Arturo Nieto, Yeltsin Gudino, and then top of the order to Bryant Flete.
Yeah, okay, so I'd say if they do make a move, it would probably be Samson Abernathy to come in. Because now it's a safe situation, so Sawyer, I think, is back into the mix, even though he pitched last night. But really, it was not too stressful on him last night.
The first pitch to Dakota Phillips is high for ball 1.
And I think at this point in the season, with every game obviously being on the line, really.
Yeah, you got to
Sawyer's
make sure
going to go out. He'll want the baseball. So in the 9th inning. So yeah, I think Samson might be the move.
Well, if you're pitching coach Max Peterson, I think you want him to have the baseball just because of the fact that this has been your guy all year long. You know, if he's available, he needs to be out there in a situation that calls for it. It's now 2-0. We got a score update here from Corey Clayton. Upset alert in college football. It's the 3rd quarter. Minnesota 21, Ohio State 17. The Buckeyes come in ranked 4th overall in the country. If they lose to Minnesota, that ranking will probably not hold. Smart fields it at first base. He tags the bag, and that ends the inning. We head to the 7th inning stretch. I'm not singing. Preston's not singing, and Zane Clodfelter is not here. So we will take a break. As we head to the bottom half of the 7th, the Otters lead it 6-3 on the Otters Digital Network.
Every 6 minutes, a utility line is damaged due to reckless digging. So Indiana relies on these 811 superheroes. Derek the Builder.
I dig for a living, but I always contact 811.
Mary the Gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And Mike the Contractor.
I contact 811 before I do my work.
Prevent damage or injury. Call 811 anytime or go online 811now.com. This message is sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and this station.
Come be a part of a nationally recognized program in criminal justice. The Criminal Justice Program at Oakland City University provides students with in-depth knowledge in the fields of law enforcement, forensics, corrections, and juvenile justice. Learn through hands-on experiences and train in areas of investigative forensics, criminology, and police administration. A career-focused major is in your reach and all in a Christian university setting that feels like home. Oakland City University.
Bottom 7th as we head to the half of the inning as the Miners come up to bat at Rent One Park in Marion, Illinois. The Otters lead it by a score of 6-3, but the Miners have been slowly clawing their way back. They scored 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th to get this game back to a 6-3 game, and we have a new pitcher on the mound for Evansville. It looks like it's Samson Abernathy.
It is.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so
Samson Abernathy.
that concludes Tim Holgrafer's night. He goes 6 innings, struck out 11, I think is what the final total will end up being. I'd have to count it up again, and then allowed 3 runs, unsure if all 3 are earned or not.
They're getting close to getting caught back up.
They're very close to getting caught back up. Probably close enough for me to use this. So they do have it as an earned run. So they must have called that a wild pitch on that one that we debated with Bryant Flette scoring in the 5th. And he ends at 11 strikeouts, 4 hits, 3 earned runs for Holgrafer. Now Abernathy on the mound as the right-hander winds and fires. Pitches upstairs, ball 1. Get on the right side of my scorebook over here. So Abernathy wears number 35 as he pitches from the right hand. Working exclusively from the stretch. As the 1-0 is a called strike, it's 1-1.
Abernathy from Chico, California.
Abernathy making appearance number 26 on the season. He's got a 1-0 record for the Otters this year. A 3.3 ERA. As the 1-1 fouled off the catcher's mask of Dakota Phillips. He'll have to take just a second to gather himself. Would be surprised to see Trainer a little bit of a delay here.
That got him pretty square, pretty flush.
It might even caught him at the bottom of the mask and hit him at the top of the chest protector. The Abernathy is just shown on the screen, kind of looking around. Abernathy, as you mentioned, from Chico, California, 6'1", 200-pound right-handed reliever. Went to the University of Pacific in California. 30 innings pitched, 29 strikeouts to 20 walks, and 21 hits for Abernathy.
It's kind of amazing you talk to some of the players from California, Florida, Arizona as well. And especially with the last couple weeks here in Evansville. About how hot it's been. And you're thinking, well, it gets hot out there too. They don't, but the humidity.
Yeah, they don't deal with the humidity.
They don't handle it pretty well, especially for the new guys who haven't been here in previous years. They haven't handled it too well.
So I've never been to Arizona, but I've had friends that lived in Arizona, and they say that hot is definitely no joke. But they would more than likely take that hot over what it is in southern Indiana or the Midwest just because of the mugginess that we deal with.
And even
it's very dry heat out there.
Even Josh Allen said, yeah, it's kind of an adjustment going from, St. Paul to, Kane County, northern United States.
Yeah.
It's like it took me a day or two to get back to, being in Evansville weather.
Right. No, and he came in at quite possibly the worst time because that was the hottest week of the year that we've had in Evansville. If my memory serves me correct, because I feel like almost every game was in the 90s real feel at game time. So it looks like Phillips is going to stay out there. They threw a couple warm-up pitches, and he's clapping his hand in his glove like he's ready to go. Or I should say his catcher's mitt. And so that will allow Nieto to step back in. It's a 1-2 count on Arturo Nieto. As Abernathy's got his sign. He's set and he delivers. 1-2 grounded left side. Fielded by DeJesus. Long throw over to first base and plenty of time. 1 away. So again, after this night in Marion, the Otters will hit the road and they will be headed north to Schaumburg. They will play 4 games at Schaumburg. 1 tomorrow night, 1 Saturday, 1 Sunday, and then the Monday night game, which throws off the off days and everything else and adds a little bit of a wrench into the Otters' end of season plans. You lose that day of rest, and all of a sudden you got to play 1 extra game. Can't be fun in the home stretch of the season, but that's how the schedule is, and that's what you got to play. First pitch to Yeltsin Gudino, high for ball 1. Again, if the Otters are able to hold on for victory here tonight in Marion, it will own the head-to-head tiebreak with the Miners, just like they do with the Florence Yalls. And that will certainly help them with playoff positioning if there were to be a tie in the standings. The 1-0 is fouled back by Gudino. It's now 1-1. It's a very close 3-team race in the West Division. The 1-1. Little fly or liner to the right side, as it was a bit of a jam shot. Allen fields it in time, 4-3 on the putout, 2 away. Turns it over back to the top of the order. Bryant Fletcher coming back up to bat. He doubled in his last at bat, came around to score. That was back in the 5th.
As a whole, if you're the Frontier League, couldn't ask for a better finish for the season with 3 of the 4 divisions still being up for grabs, pretty much.
So, again, if my memory serves me correct, in 2016, as the first pitch to Fletcher is a called strike from Abernathy, it's 0-1. My memory serves me correct, Southern Illinois ran away with the division. But in that Frontier League setup, there were wild cards, or at least a wild card. I don't remember if there was 1 or 2. But it was a very close contested race for the wild card spot, as the 0-1's fouled off. It's now 0-2. Evansville snuck in as a wild card. River City beat Southern Illinois. I, for the life of me, cannot remember who Evansville played in the opening round.
Joliet.
I thought it was up by, I was thinking Schaumburg for some reason, but it was Joliet. Now that you say that, I remember being at the field. And then they played River City in the championship, where the Otters won that in 5. But I say that because that playoff race, I remember there were at least 2 other teams with Evansville. So 3+ teams racing for that wild card spot, and ended up being like a 2-game difference, I think, at the end of it, for like the entire final month of the season. The 1-2 called third strike, as Abernathy gets the strikeout looking to Fletcher. That ends the 7th. We head to the 8th. Evansville leads at 6-3 on the Otters Digital Network.
We love our kids and want them to be healthy. After all, a healthy child can make for a happy child. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield offers health insurance for children up to age 18 at low or no cost. From doctor visits to dental care, Anthem is here to put resources at your fingertips and simple solutions within your reach. And that is something to smile about. Call 1-800-403-0864 to enroll today. To learn more, visit anthem.com/inmedicaid.
Getting ready and keeping fit for baseball season is hard work. That's why you'll find Evan at Bob's Gym. Getting fit, having fun, being an Otter. Be like Evan. Try a free 3-day pass at Bob's.
We have a new pitcher to tell you about for the Southern Illinois Miners. It's a right-handed reliever, Mitchell Walters, out of the bullpen for Southern Illinois. He relieves Zach Lausen as his first batter that he will face. It's a called strike to Elijah Mcnamee, 0-1. Walters from Katy, Texas, stands 6'1", 210 pounds. Went to college at Wichita State, making appearance number 22. You don't like that because of the MVC rivalry, as I'm sure.
And that's a deep-rooted baseball rivalry, not just basketball as well, but definitely in baseball.
Between UE and Wichita?
Yeah.
Just shockers.
For reasons that I won't share on the air, but if you ever come across head coach Wes Carroll on the campus of the University of Evansville, you ask him about Wichita State.
They should or shouldn't?
Really, they probably shouldn't, but if you want to know why exactly, because there is a specific reason, you should.
Well, there you go. The 1-2 to McNamee. Slow. Now 2-2.
I mean, it really has nothing to do with probably the years of Walters being at Wichita State. I mean, this was something that happened a long time ago, but...
Of course, Wichita State, really, I think they became more of a household name nationally because of that basketball tournament run.
Yeah.
And the following success under Greg Marshall, who is, I believe, no longer the coach there after everything that went through. 2-2 is flown down the right field line, early giving chase into foul territory, slides, but I believe it went down for a foul ball.
After further investigation, where they noticed that a lot of recruits were all of a sudden transferring out and leaving, and they said, well, this doesn't make sense. So they looked into it, and
was not great.
Not a great ending for him there. Of course, you had the likes of Ron Baker and Fred Van Fleet. One of them is an NBA champion.
Also, Cleanthony Early was a very good member of that team. He's a sophomore.
Yep, they had a few good players. I honestly think, though, if I had to stack up their Final Four team with the Loyola, I think the Ramblers have them beat.
That Loyola team was really good. The 2-2 to McNamee as he swings through at strike 3. 3 strikeouts in the night for McNamee. He did have a triple, an RBI triple earlier in this game.
And not just because they have Sister Jean on their bench behind them.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Sister Jean got a little bit too much for me. It got to be a little bit too much. Like, it was a great story and certainly loved it.
It wasn't her fault. It was the media's fault.
It's not her fault. But, yeah, it was like the broadcast just latched onto that and they never let it go. But it helped give Loyola a little bit of publicity that I'm sure the school was happy to get. It's an 0-1 count to Andrew Penner as he watches the fastball on the inside part of the plate. I'm trying to think of my favorite Cinderella story type of team in college basketball.
Did you fall in love with George Mason in their run?
You know, I did. George Mason was actually one of the years I finally got a Final Four pick right with that high seed thing. Way back in
You actually picked George Mason?
I did.
Whoa!
It was 100% lucky guess because I was in like a freshman in high school at that time. I really didn't know truly what I was doing. I was just like, oh, 11 seed. I read a little bit about them. Like, cool, let's pick them. And I was like, wow, they just kept going. Of course, Butler was a very enjoyable one. Every day I see that shot. Yeah, but every day I see that shot that Gordon Hayward put up against Duke, I think it's going in. And I have friends that are Duke friends or fans, and they say the exact same thing. They'll see that on a replay, and they are convinced that shot's going in. 1-2 is a called third strike to Penner. It's now 2 outs.
That one, and then the VCU run with Shaka Smart.
VCU was a lot of fun with the Havoc defense.
I know it didn't end well for him at Texas as planned, but
can't forget Florida Gulf Coast too.
He is, especially at VCU, one of the more, I mean, just his energy. I mean, how do you not love watching or wanting to play for him?
Of course, he's bounced around a little bit. He was at Texas, and then he took the job at Marquette before this past, or at the end of this past season, going into this season.
Because that's home for him. So.
And then Texas ended up getting their man. I believe it was Chris Beard from Texas Tech. That brings in Andy DeJesus. First pitch to him is a ball outside. I'd say my favorite Cinderella story, though, it has to be that VCU team. Because it was so much fun. I don't remember how far Florida Gulf Coast went when they had Dunk City. I feel like they only won a couple games.
Yeah, it was only just a couple rounds.
But that felt like it was such a fun thing. Another underrated one. This is actually someone that made a run to the championship and actually won the thing. Was UConn with the Kimball Walker team.
Yeah, because you don't think of it because you think of UConn, the Big East.
That year in particular.
Yeah, because the tournament run.
UConn was not going to make the tournament unless they won the Big East tournament.
They had to win, 6 games in 6 days?
Yep. And then they won 6 more games in the NCAA tournament over those next 3 weeks.
I mean, shoot, even the other UConn with Shabazz Napier, that was kind of a shock as well.
Yeah. They didn't end up winning the championship. I don't think so anyway.
Yeah, under Ollie.
They did under Kevin Ollie. You're right. 2015. I think it was 15. Was it 14? The years all run together.
It feels so long ago now.
That Kimball Walker run was in 2011. If my memory serves me correct there, too.
Because that would have been right after the Duke Butler battle, right?
I'm getting ready to look it up.
Don't play Sporkle enough and they get back on Sporkle.
I haven't messed with Sporkle.
Sharpen my skills.
In a very long time.
Zane said him and his buddies used to do it all the time.
By the way, Andy DeJesus walked on 4 straight pitches. That brings up Gary Mattis. It's more to know. Basketball Reference is taking a while to load.
Oh, just got underneath it, the Mad Dog.
Flying it out to left field, Brocado moves in, as that's now 3 outs. And we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Evansville still up by 3, as it'll be 2-3-4 due up for Southern Illinois when we come back on the Otters Digital Network.
Fix up your home with Heritage. Our home improvement financing options can help you change your home now and pay for it over time. Upgrade your home. Make home repairs. Remodel a kitchen. Build a new deck. Add a new room. Remodel your bath. Update appliances. Whether it's a small weekend project or a large renovation, Heritage Federal Credit Union can help you finance your improvements today. Fix up your home with Heritage.
Before you danced the first dance. Before you walked down the aisle. Before the tables were set with care. Before you penned a single invitation. Before the day that went beyond your wildest expectations. There was the little green box from Brinker's Jewelers for befores and happily ever afters.
Bottom 8th, the Otters are 6 outs away from a victory. They lead it 6-3 on the Otters Digital Network. Samson Abernathy out there for his 2nd inning of work. He'll have to deal with a very strong part of the lineup. 2-3-4 due up for the Miners. And we got a text earlier about an upset alert in college football. Minnesota was leading that game 21-14 or 21-17, I believe it was. And now Ohio State is on top 31-21. So life comes at you fast.
We'll say probably a turnover was involved there.
I would think so as well. I would think turnover or special teams touchdown, one of the two. First pitch to Nolan Early, missed on the inside part for 1-0. Now the 1-0 is fouled back. It's 1-1. And we were doing some looking at Basketball Reference. We being me, I decided to dig into it because I have to know these things. It was the 2010-2011 season when Kemba Walker and company won the championship over Butler. They were actually a 3 seed that year, but they had to win. I remember they had to win the Big East tournament to get into it. They won 6 straight to get it. And then it was the 2013-14 Huskies, as the 1-1's a called strike. It's now 1-2. Led by Shabazz Napier, they defeated Kentucky, who was an 8 seed that season. We mentioned it with the Harrison twins on that team. The 1-2 from Abernathy, grounded to the right side by Early. It's fielded by Josh Allen as he throws it over with plenty of time. 1 away. And it's so funny when you look at some of those Kentucky teams. The 2012 team really stands out because they had Anthony Davis. They ended up winning the championship, I believe. But you also look at some of the teams, like I think 15 had Karl Anthony Towns. They didn't win it that year.
In fact, they've only won 1 in the last decade with all the talent they've had.
That's kind of crazy, actually. So did they not win it? Or they did win it in 2012, right?
Yeah,
2011, 2012, they beat Kansas. 2012-13.
Because I believe that went to overtime.
I think it did. 2012-13, that was the year whenever they first pitch to
Is that when they
Ariel Sandoval.
didn't even make it and they lost to Robert Morris?
Yeah, so I was going to tell it. So first pitch to Sandoval is called strike. My favorite thing about that season was going into it, Kentucky fans were printing shirts about 40-0, whatever, going undefeated, national championship. That was the team that Willie Cauley-Stein on it. The 0-1 is lined into center field. A sliding catch by Jeffrey Baez. 2 away now. But yeah, they were printing off all these 40-0 undefeated shirts. They're going to break the record, this, that, and the other. And they had a really good roster. I mean, they had Nerlens Noel, Willie Cauley-Stein, Alex Poitras, Archie Goodwin went on to be an NBA player. Kyle Wilcher went on to be an NBA player. So they had some talent on that team, especially in that front court. And then they end the season losing in front of 2,000 people in a gymnasium in the middle of nowhere to Robert Morris, who was an 8 seed in the NIT, mind you. Probably better off just not playing in that game. First pitch to Jamie Smart is low and inside for ball 1. Of course, they bounce back 13-14. They end up in the championship game, as we mentioned, to Connecticut. They lost. 2014 and 15, they lost in the semifinal to Wisconsin. That was a very good game. That Frank Kaminsky led squad. 1-0 called 1-1. And was that the year, or who was the point guard for Wisconsin back then? There was somebody that felt like they were there for 17 years. Travion Jackson, that's his name. Felt like he was there for an entire professional career at Wisconsin. 1-1, a called strike. It's now 1-2. Also on that team, Sam Decker, Nigel Hayes, Bronson Koenig was there for a century as well. They had some players on that squad. And you look at the years after that, not really a whole lot of success at all for Kentucky in the tournament. A little pop-up on the infield as the Jesus makes the play.
That's going to be a tough play, I think, either way.
Oh, it was grounded. Okay, I thought it was just a really high pop-up, so it was a very high ground ball.
It was a ground ball, yeah.
So
it was going to be a tough play.
In front of home plate.
Not only he had to wait for it to get there, then the bounce.
Well, that's a base hit for Jamie Smart.
And then plus off-balance throw.
The angle of that on that ball put in play, it really threw me off because I thought it looked like a straight pop-up, but it was not.
That year, let's see.
2016-17.
Oh, Luke May.
That was whenever Kentucky lost to your Tar Heels.
Luke May.
In the Elite 8. First pitch to Mang, up and in.
And then he skipped forward a few years, and in November they ran into the University of Evansville team.
Yeah, that was the highlight of that season for Evansville, for sure.
Yeah, that's about the only highlight.
It really seemed like everything went
positive.
Very downhill. Very quickly for the Evansville Aces that year. Phillips takes another foul ball off his
Man, he's
chest
getting beat up.
protector or his catcher's mask.
I'm going to say Felix will be behind the plate tomorrow night.
Probably going to earn a day off is Dakota Phillips. Got a confirmation from Corey Clayton about the turnover part. Yes, it was a fumble recovery that led to the touchdown. So ball and a strike. Samson Abernathy trying to work through the 8th inning and keep it a 3-run game. As Jared Mang is in the box. Breaking ball up in the zone. It's now 2-1. Noted a couple times how you're a North Carolina Tar Heels fan. Who is your favorite Tar Heel in college basketball? That you've seen play, because I feel like the
I'm not gonna go with the
Michael Jordan,
no.
Sam Perkins or Vince Carter. 2-1 misses a little bit upstairs too. It's 3-1.
Oh man, there's been some good ones though.
I know an underrated one that I really liked.
I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like him once he got professional, but I mean the way Tyler Hansbrough played, I mean you can't.
I definitely don't fault you for that.
Just being a pest and just kind of being all over the place.
And the thing is, too,
the effort was there. I mean,
he dominated college basketball, similar to kind of how Tim Tebow dominated college
And the fact is now,
football.
like, he'd be so undersized now.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's what's amazing. I mean, what another player? Wasn't a great player, but just what he brought to the team, Theo Pinson, I thought was.
He's trying to carve himself out an NBA role.
Of course, then they have so many good point guards.
See, that's where I go.
They got Lawson, Marshall, Marcus Page, Joe Barry.
really like Kendall Marshall's game.
Yeah.
The 3-2 was grounded to Jesus. A little bit of a tough hop there. Fields it, throws it over in time. Great play from Andy to Jesus.
And then besides, of course, Zeller and a couple other real quick big guys that they had. I mean, Bryce Johnson, John Henson. Yeah.
List goes on and on.
All right.
We head to the top of the 9th. Otters lead at 6-3. They're going to look for some insurance runs in Marion, Illinois. We'll come back on the Otters Digital Network.
If you're looking for a liquor store in Evansville, look no further than Liquor Locker. The Liquor Locker has the best selection at the best prices, including the largest craft beer and bourbon selection in the area. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find the beer, wine, and liquor you need for any occasion. And check out the fine selection of cigars at all Liquor Locker stores. Liquor Locker is now open Sundays 12 to 8 p.m. and offers citywide delivery. Visit one of our 10 conveniently located stores in the Evansville area today. There is always something for everyone at the Liquor Locker.
Cheer up, Evan. This rain will be out soon. You should download the 14 First Alert app and see for yourself. You can see what's coming up to 7 days in advance, or you can break it down hour by hour. Check out live radar so you can see what's happening in real time. And you can watch 14 News live directly from the app. See, there's nothing to worry about.
Stay in the game with the 14 First Alert app.
Call to the bullpen once again for Southern Illinois. This time it's Augie Voigt, another right-hander out of the Miners pen. 6'2", 195-pound righty, making appearance number 9 on the year for the Miners. He was previously with the Santa Fe Fuego earlier this year in the 2021 season. For the Miners, he has a 4.69 ERA, 7 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 8 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks on the year. And first pitch swinging and grounding out to third base is Josh Allen. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Augie Voigt. And that brings in Jeffrey Baez. It's a 6-3 lead for the Evansville Otters as they're looking to tack on an insurance run or two and see if they can finish this game off in the bottom half of the 9th inning and get a victory. Take a quick look at the Frontier League TV scoreboard. We mentioned earlier Tri-City and New Jersey split that doubleheader. Équipe Quebec gets the victory over Sussex County by a score of 6-1. So those are the only 2 games that have gone final. We have some games nearing a final. Top of the 9th, Schaumburg 6. They are trailing it at Gateway 10-6. Lake Erie on top of Joliet 3-0 in the top of the 9th as Baez swings at the 0-1 and misses its 0-2. And then the Florence Yaws lead Windy City 6-2 heading into the top of the 9th. Another final that I missed earlier. Washington Wild Things defeated New York Boulders 8-7. That's a look at your Frontier League scoreboard. 0-2 swung on a miss by Baez. 2 quick outs here in this top half of the 9th inning. We'll see if Riley Crane can do some damage. Got him 0 for 3 tonight, or excuse me, 1 for 3 tonight. Single back in the first, walked in the 7th. Was retired in the 3rd and 4th. The first pitch to Crane, he swings and he fouls it off. It's 0-1. Otters scored 6 runs in the first 4 innings. It was 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the 4th. And they have been shut down ever since. The 0-1. Crane flies to left field. Down the line, and it goes foul. Stays 0-2.
Basically ever since Michael Austin was taken out of the game.
No, that is a very big coincidence there, Preston.
Wasn't pitching well. Brought in a couple guys who are pitching well.
The bullpen has done their job for Southern Illinois. It's kind of stymied the bats of the Otters. I'm sure if you're the Otters, you're like, no, come on, don't take them out yet. 0-2, ground to the right side. It'll be a tough play for Smart as he races to the bag. And he gets there before Crane. So 3 up, 3 down for the Otters. They'll have to work with a 3-run lead as we'll probably see Logan Sawyer coming out of the bullpen. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Otters trying to hold on for victory number 52 on the season on the Otters Digital Network.
Welcome to a place that feels like home. A place that cares about all of you. Built to help you grow in more ways than you can possibly imagine. To make new friends, travel new paths, soar to new heights, and deepen your spiritual experience. Welcome to Oakland City University.
Centerpoint Energy's newest generation of safe, efficient energy includes capturing and harnessing the natural power of pure sunshine. We are increasing solar in our balanced and reliable energy mix as we power our region with more clean, renewable energy. We're bringing a little piece of the sun to every home and business while reducing carbon emissions and helping create a cleaner environment. It's just a little something for your smart energy future.
We head to the bottom of the 9th inning, and it is Logan Sawyer out on the mound, just like we expected for the Evansville Otters. The 6'4", 225-pound closer will come on, as he has 21 saves on the year, looking for save number 22. He'll be facing Ian Walters to begin things, followed by Anthony Brocado, and then Arturo Nieto. Yeltsin Gudino will bat if any of those reach base. Walters steps in from the left-hand side as the first pitch is high, ball 1. Sawyer pitched last night through 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, no runs. Did pick up the save. He has converted three straight save opportunities. As the pitch is flown out to right field, and catching it is Elijah Mcnamee, 1 away. That brings in Anthony Brocado.
And as of this moment, entering tonight, Sawyer tied with Zach Strecker of Washington for the league leading saves with 21, which, for those who are unaware, Strecker broke the Frontier League's all-time saves record last week, which was previously held by Eric Massingham, the former Otter. So now the career saves record in the Frontier League is now belonging to Strecker and not Massingham, unfortunately. But Sawyer, possibly with a save here tonight, could leapfrog Strecker for the lead for this season's total.
First pitch to Brocado is fouled off, as Sawyer has his sign and delivers the 0-1. Swung on a miss, it's 0-2. So Sawyer trying to get up there for the saves leader for the league, as he's got his sign working from the stretch. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. As a quick strikeout for Sawyer, and there's quickly 2 away. And all of a sudden, Southern Illinois down to their final out. They chipped away, scoring 1 run in the 3rd, the 5th, and the 6th. They went 3 up and 3 down in the 7th. They got a 2-out base hit in the 8th, and then quickly that inning came to a halt. And now it's 2 outs in the 9th. Evansville wins this game and they hold on. They will improve to 52-34. They will extend their lead with Southern Illinois specifically in the West Division. First pitch swinging, fly ball right side, and that gets out of play.
And with the score as it is here, plus the score over between Windy City and Florence at Ozingo Field, not Buzzinga, as Devin at first thought Zane said last night. The Otters would only take off 1 from their magic number.
So that game is final. So Florence will still sit, well, technically they sit 1 game back at this very moment. But if Evansville wins this game, it'll be back to 1.5. As the 0-1 below the zone, it's now 1-1. Again, Evansville owns the tiebreak with Florence. One ball, 1 strike count. Delivery as this one swung on and missed. It's 1-2. And here at the ballpark, we like to...
It's 10 o'clock.
Pay attention to the stoplight out on Heidelbach.
It's a little late tonight.
It usually changes to
there
the flashing light, and there it goes.
There's the snap.
As it changes to the flashing light, so all is right in the world. It's 10 o'clock, and the flashing light is now a thing. Logan Sawyer trying to put the punctuation mark on this one. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 swinging as Logan Sawyer comes on and completes the save. Save number 22 on the year for Sawyer as he converts a save on back-to-back nights. The Southern Illinois Miners drop to 49-39 with the 6-3 loss, while the Otters improve to 52-34. Tim Holgraver will pick up the win as he improves to 9-3 on the year, as he had 6 strong innings, striking out 11 along the way. Sawyer picks up save number 22, as I just mentioned, and Michael Austin drops to 4-6 for the Southern Illinois Miners. Pretty good game tonight, Preston, for the Otters, getting off to a fast start. They kind of fizzled out towards the second half of the game, but they were able to hold on after getting that very big lead to begin with.
Yeah, great game. Holgrafer pitched well, obviously bouncing back, like I said, from kind of a bumpy start last week, even though he got the win. The defense was pretty solid, nice early offense, it kind of quieted down as the game went on. But nonetheless, getting off to that fast start was big. And Sawyer, he's looked pretty good his last few times out. I don't know if maybe he's gotten some rest a little bit, and that's kind of helped him out a little bit. Because he was pitching a lot, it felt like, early on in the season with a lot of the other key bullpen guys. But overall, it's good to get the series win if you're Evansville. Obviously, keep ahead of Florence, keep that 1.5 game difference. And now you look ahead to Schaumburg, which is no easy series, 4 games against a team that's leading their division. So for Evansville, it's a matter of just continuing to take care of their own business.
Let's take one final look around the Frontier League with the Frontier League Live scoreboard. Équipe Quebec defeated Sussex County by a score of 6-1. The New Jersey Jackals and Tri-City Valley Cats, they split their doubleheader today with Tri-City winning the first game, New Jersey taking the second game. Schaumburg tried to make a comeback at Gateway. They fall short. 10-9 is the final there at Gateway. Lake Erie and Joliet, they are still going, although Lake Erie leads that game 3-0 in the bottom half of the ninth. The Florence Yawls defeated the Windy City Thunderbolts by a score of 6-2, so they do stay back a game and a half from Evansville. And then the Washington Wild Things defeated the New York Boulders by a score of 8-7. So as Preston said, the Otters will now head to Schaumburg for 4 games in 4 days. And then after that 4-game road trip, they will head back home to finish the regular season with 2 3-game sets right here at Bosse Field. Well, the Otters fared better in this trip to Marion than they did their last one. They got swept in their last trip. This time they win 2 of 3. They actually score some runs in this one and are able to win the season series tiebreak, I should say, between the two teams. So that is something important to note as the playoffs draw closer and closer. And the good news for Evansville is you're kind of hoping now that Southern Illinois kind of knocks out Florence a little bit, and they just kind of take some games away from them, and Evansville can kind of keep pace and kind of coast into the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's tough.
You just beat the Myers, and now you kind of want them to win. It's tough, but as long as Evansville can win their own games, take care of their own business, they don't need the scoreboard.
I'll tell you
help.
what, if the Otters end the season with a, 11-game winning streak, if they win all 10 games between Schaumburg and then the 6 games back at Bosse Field, then they won't have to worry about anybody else.
Yeah, if they could surpass the 8-game win streak they had earlier in the season, that would be something.
That would be quite a time. So again, it's a win for Holgrave, where he moves to 9-3. Sawyer picks up the save, and the Otters improve to 52-34, the best record in the Frontier League. Until tomorrow night, which will be another remote broadcast. Are you doing that one again?
Yeah, I'll be solo, I guess. You guys will be busy with high school football Friday, but it is what it is.
Yep,
and
so
if you tuned in last Friday, that's a little bit of a tease of how it's going to go probably tomorrow as well.
And Saturday and Sunday, you will also have Jevin and Zane with you.
Yes, that sounds correct. I believe Zane said he'll be popping in after his Hoosiers play.
Yep, on Saturday. So that's what you got to kind of look forward to this weekend. I will probably not be back on the call until Wednesday.
Whoa, yeah, that would be right, wouldn't it?
It'd be Wednesday.
Remember, fans, that's a 10:05 a.m. start next Wednesday. So if you're coming to the ballpark at Bosse Field, gates open at 9. Make sure you get here early. And, obviously enjoy, hopefully, some nice weather. If it's been like the last couple of days, we'll be all right. And if you're going to be tuning in here on the Otters Digital Network, well, on the video stream that is, you can expect the pregame show to start probably about 9:45 or so.
Make sure you tune in to Preston tomorrow night, because he'll go through all the promotions of that.
Oh yeah, that's how I'll keep you. We got some great stuff, especially at the end of the week to finish out the last homestand of the regular season. Some good giveaway stuff and fireworks, of course. I'll go through all that tomorrow night.
Definitely tune in for that.
Otherwise, just go to EvansvilleOtters.com.
Well, for Preston Leinenbach and myself, Jordan Fisher, hope you enjoyed it tonight. It was an Otters victory again by a score of 6-3. The Otters improved to 52-34. Holgrave for picking up win number 9, and Sawyer gets save number 22. Until tomorrow night, when you can hear Preston Leinenbach from Bosse Field, but the Otters will be taking on Schaumburg. It's been so long here from Bosse Field.